We in the building. Oh yeah. Alright. Welcome. In the building. Be patient. We still setting up, everybody. It was a minute. Super Bowl Sunday. The motherfucking Super Bowl. What's good, y'all? Happy Super Bowl weekend. We in the building. Get lifted.
Hit the like button, share, and subscribe, and click the notification bell so you're notified the next time we post or go live. I'm your helper.
And I'm SmileyJizzle. What's good, y'all? We in the building. So it's been a lot of stuff going on lately. So I've been keeping my ear online, paying attention to what's going on with this Epstein stuff just a little bit. I haven't really been like too majorly involved in it, you know what I mean? But we know the allegations about it. about, the names that were allegedly on the list. We got, disputes from victims and all types of things. And if it's anything that I've learned, it's always like wait until um evidence comes out, that, it removes reasonable doubt, you know what I mean? Because nobody's perfect. And I hate to condemn people before we know all the facts, you know what I mean? I just don't like that for me, as a person. So I always tend to like really dismiss everything that everybody else is saying. Not so much as the victim, because the victim has their own side of the situation. They went through something. But not saying that they didn't go through what they went through, but causation, the why, um, how did it happen, what made the individual do what they did to this person, what actually did they do. All of those matter to me because I generally don't have any stake in either of the individuals, whether it's the person committing a crime or the victim. But I'm just supposed to all the time um, appeal to the victim of every single situation, and I don't think that's always fair because in a lot of situations, sometimes the victim put themselves in that situation, and then we automatically have to take their side. If they put themselves in that situation and they did that, does that mean that they don't deserve justice? No, absolutely not. But I think we should also consider, okay, this is what happened. You know what I mean? Before we jump to any conclusion and condemn the person that did something wrong. Now, I've had, and first of all, I want to shout out to my boy. He had a baby shower. I didn't get to make it, but I still want to give him a shout out. Um, I watched him grow up and shit, and now he's having his first kid. So I'm proud of him. I know he's gonna be a great father and all that. So I first want to say that. Shout out to my nigga. Um, but the other thing is, you know, we we tend to look at our situations with people that we have a personal connection to, and we give them uh different grace than we give anybody else in a similar situation, and I don't think that's fair unless you're going to be a person who's just that's how I'm going to be, period. You know what I mean? If I'm gonna give that energy all the time, then there's nothing I can say. It can't be like, oh, special treatment. Or unless I'm gonna say, yo, this is special treatment for my family. I'm one of those type of people. I'm a family motherfucker. So it's always gonna be family first. I'm gonna and there's no way to change me on that situation. You know what I mean? And I guess others might look at it differently, and that's fine. But you can't make me uh, subscribe to your ideology on family connection. You know what I mean? Like if you're my family, then I fuck with you. That's it. You know what I mean? Nobody's perfect. Again, people fuck up. People make you upset. People say things that you don't like. You know what I mean? Whatever. In general. But sometimes your boss will say something that you don't really appreciate. You still go to work. You still bust your ass. You still do what you got to do because you don't want to lose your job. Nobody really cares about their family because there's no gain from it. There's no capital gain, actually. You know what I mean? So it's like, I don't need you. You know what I mean? They say, hurtful things like that. But some people just accept it. You know what I mean? And some people like they don't got to deal with it. They distance themselves from situations like that because it fucks up the peace that you have. You know what I mean? Like even though you want to be a person that's never going to turn your back on family, you still want to maintain the level of peace that you have. So some people can't understand that. Some people are just like family, family, family. But there needs to be conditions that make certain things acceptable with family, like boundaries, things like that. Like we have to have things established and our familial relationships that can make unconditional love acceptable, because we don't, now we're in a time where there's no more duty. So it's like people make their own choices. People don't care. Like, fuck a duty. I'm not obligated to do this, do that, or whatever. And then boom, shit just stops. Like, the grandfather bust his ass to make this farm and all this vegetation, and teach everybody how to keep the farm running, and how to put the grain down, and how to water it, and how to feed all the animals and shit like that. And then when the other kids got old enough, they was like, fuck this farm. I don't want to be on this shit. You know what I mean? Now they not making bread from the farm anymore. Now they about to lose the family. They about to lose the land, all this shit, because they didn't want to keep that in the family. But they have what you would call a cash crop. And they relinquished it because they didn't want the responsibilities that came with that. But those responsibilities was bigger than them. It could have made their family rich. You know what I mean? But they didn't care about that. It's no more duty. It's about, self-service. You know what I mean? Not selfless service, but self-service. So you only care about what you're going to get out of it, and it's something bigger. And that's where, you know, the situation of a parent and their child. Like, the kid is probably going to say they hate you. The kid is probably going to say, wild ass shit. But you can't just abandon your kid because they say something that you don't like. And I know adults aren't children, but sometimes you got to think about, if you're the person that has the better mental capacity dealing with a certain situation, you have to understand that that person just doesn't understand. And is that a way to have more grace for them? Yes, if you can have the patience with that grace, because you're giving them grace doesn't mean that you're going to throw their inefficiency in their face. You accept that they have this fault, and if you can't help them change it, then you have to accept it. And I'll land my plane there.
Okay, so about people putting themselves in a situation, the Epstein Files, that's mostly about kids, about PDF files, or that island, or whatever. So there are adults that are responsible for them. So if they got in that situation, the parent is the one that put them. They didn't put themselves. So that's different. If allegedly, if this stuff did happen, or whatever. But yeah, we don't know. Whatever.
Right, we don't know.
And just because I understand your trauma, it doesn't mean I have to deal with the shit that comes with it. If I tell you these are my boundaries and shit like that, like, people always fault the person because they choose it. And just because you don't want to deal with someone or be in their presence, that doesn't mean you don't care about them anymore. But you realize, like you said, you're impeding on my peace or whatever. So that's affecting my lifestyle in a negative way. We've had these conversations that I know is them, and you don't give a fuck, obviously, because you still moving however you moving. So I'm gonna do what's best for me. Like, and it doesn't mean that I don't care, but I have to do what's best for me because you're not respecting my boundaries. So why should I try to keep you in my life if you don't give a fuck about what I'm saying? Regardless of what your level of thinking is or where I meet you, I can understand it, but I don't have to deal with the negative aspects of it. I can see when I see you on holidays and all that or whatever, like, you don't have to tolerate abuse or whatever, and to some degree it doesn't have to be physical or whatever necessarily, but it is if you're disrespecting me when I'm telling you things or whatever. Nobody's not obligated to do nothing, but I just think, but my thing is, if you're saying you're gonna do it, then I think you should stick to that. That is fine. If you don't want to do it, then say you don't, because I'm not going to be mad if you don't. If you said that from the beginning, don't have me expecting that you're going to do something. Then switch up when it's time for it to be done. That's my issue, because I don't think nobody owes me. Now, the parent, yes, you do, because you decided to push me out, so you do owe me something. But do I have to retaliate that too? That depends on how our relationship goes or whatever. If you're treating me the right way, if you're abusive to me and knocking my head between a washing machine and dryer, or you belittling me and talking to me crazy, and you don't respect me as a human being because I'm just a child, because often parents feel like kids, like, oh, you're like, they separated, like, you're not, you talk to them like they're somebody in the street or whatever, and then, there's different levels of whatever people go through or whatever. You can't tell nobody what they, because people be like, oh, that's your this or that's your, I don't give a fuck who you are, because you don't care about, and this is my thing, that's the impression that is given. Because if I tell you time after time after time, this is what I need to feel okay, and I'm respecting your boundaries, and I'm walking away, and I'm walking on eggshells, but you're not giving me the same respect. It should be a mutual, beneficial relationship. If every time I'm coming around you, you're stressing me out, then I don't have to deal with that, and you can feel how you want to feel about it. And people need to stop thinking that that's acceptable. If you want to accept it, but don't try to push that or say it on duty or say that somebody doesn't care or it's not unconditional. That doesn't mean you don't care because you choose not to deal with somebody. It means this is the reason why I'm away from you, because you obviously don't care. You only worry about yourself because you don't have the mental capacity to make space for someone else in your heart or whatever, because you're only doing what's best for you or what you think somebody else is doing, not what they actually tell you that they need to thrive or whatever from your relationship.
All right, so so my only thing is that's exactly what I'm saying. So it's like there's no duty anymore. Like the understanding of like, yes, you shouldn't have to deal with other people's, their attitudes or personalities or whatever, and I get that. and people, it's a choice usually. People choose to deal with what they choose to deal with, or just separate themselves from it entirely. I think we're damned if we raise a society of individuals who don't have duty and those values. I mean, I think there's other values that are very important: responsibility, integrity. But duty is up there because, especially for young men, you want to teach young men. I can't really. I mean, I should care about women because we have to coexist, but I don't really care too much about what women's decision is on things like such as duty, because I mean, I don't think that society is going to hold women accountable to a level where duty is going to be something that's going to be considered for them. But at least, hold on, I'll let you cook. Hold on. I don't think society is going to hold women to a standard of, accountability where it comes to duty, but because they're always going to give them an excuse. So that's not holding them accountable. But I'm saying, I think for men at least, we should encourage them to have those things. Doing something when you don't feel like doing it, when you don't really want to do it. Knowing, like, how to be softer. It kind of fucking sucks. Like, I watched a podcast the other day where it's like men are still taught to be softer and kinder and gentler to women, even during communication. But men are taught differently because we have to be hard to deal with a harder world. So it's like, damn, are women being taught the same thing? And I would say, if I had a daughter, I would want my daughter to be well-rounded. Of course, yeah, I would want my daughter to know how to fish, and I want her to know how to cook. But I'd also want my daughter to know how to be respectful to a man and how to follow under a man's leadership, but to know what man to choose for that leadership. I think that's the problem. And the reason that that's a problem is because we're raised in a society now where it's not accustomed for the young lady to bring whatever dude she's trying to entertain to the house so that she can meet their parents. It's not even just meeting the father, because I know we got a lot of single parent households, but that same the same way that they, that it would feel for their father to meet the young man, it should be that whoever's the guardian, the mom, the aunt, grandma, whatever, they should be raised to know that it's acceptable to have the person that's dealing with you, courting you, poking you, if you're under their household or you're under their roof, that you should have your parents meet that person first. And I didn't grow up like that. You didn't grow up like that. But I think that's important. I think we should have that situation. And the reason we probably did is because, like, you know, nobody knew who you talking to. You talking to them, that's your privacy, whatever. I think that should be done away with, because we live in a society where it's too much bullshit going on. Just witnessing what happened to a family member recently, it's too much going on to allow there not to be enough secure network, enough involvement with the family's part. Mother, single mom, or father, single dad, whoever, or co-parent, or fucking nuclear family. It doesn't matter. When it comes to these kids, we have to have a different approach than the way we deal with each other. Because I know a lot of people are just like, I don't give a fuck. And that's cool. But what example are you teaching to the younger people developing? Are the younger people developing? And it's not our responsibilities really too. And I also want to add that in there, because it's not our responsibility. But if it's not our responsibility when we're having these talking points and we're talking about these things, even though it's not our responsibility, should we be cognizant that these are things that people are witnessing? They're seeing this, they're recognizing this, and seeing like, oh well, this is how this person is. Oh, that's just me. Like, I do what I want. I do what I do. But in essence, these are the values that are being instilled into younger people developing, why they make some of the dumb decisions that they make, because of the people that's leading them. You know what I mean? And it's kind of fucked up because we don't know that we're leading these motherfuckers. We just doing our thing, you know. And then while we're doing it, we're being watched. They're looking at every single thing that we're doing, and they're behaving like, oh, I remember you used to do that, man. I used to look up to y'all niggas. Y'all used to do da 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 whatever. And then they start doing. I'm like, damn, man, this nigga doing this stupid shit. You know what I mean? I be looking at it like that, but I mean, I guess in a way, yeah, you're a little flattered because, you know, they looked up to you and shit, but then they looked up to you for the wrong shit. Like, I wish you would look up to me for making some money. Like, you know what I mean? Look up to me for doing something the right way, not something the wrong way. Oh, you had mad bitches. Oh, you used to do that. But nigga, that ain't good, nigga. You know what I mean? Like, you know, like, I feel like because niggas was lost, they still living lost. They figured it out, and they don't want to show nobody how to do it. And that's the thing. I don't want to be that person. I want to be the person that's like, all right, I figured a way out of the tunnel. Let me show everybody else how to get out this tunnel. And it's not going to be by, you know, the pull-ups. It's not going to be by the turning it back when people at their lowest. It's not going to be not having compassion to see, I know where somebody's coming from because I was there. One of the things about enlightenment or moving to a level, maybe people just aren't. Maybe people just like, you know, they're trying, you know, and I got some healing to do myself, and I got, you know what I mean, I'm working on some things. So I'm not there yet. I'm not there to be able to deal with their fucking shit, because they got to go take the same journey that I'm fucking taking. I get that. But to just say like, you know, fuck with, you know what I mean, whatever. But, and that's the thing. When somebody will look at it as like, man, you need to do this, you need to do that. And I'm like, nah, that's not a good look. Like, that's kind of like dumb. This is why it's dumb. And they like, man, that ain't how you used to move. That ain't what you used. Like, yeah, nigga. Because I grew up, I learned, like, you know what I mean? I'm moving this way now because it makes more sense. You know what I mean? You live, you grow, you learn. We was talking about value one day. Talking about the value of a woman, right? And this is the crazy thing with words. When we talking about exactly what we talking about, if I'm going to be objective and I'm going to say, is it more valuable, and I'll say this on record, you know, is it more valuable being with a woman that has more children on paper or being with a woman that has no children on paper? Well, if she doesn't have any children, then that's no burden that you're taking on into that situation. So why would I want my son, you know what I mean, or any younger person under my tutelage to put themselves in a situation that's going to be more challenging for them? I would want them to have the best experience or the best opportunity for the experience. Now, I think parents do this more than anybody else in the world. There's some parents that work at fucking grocery stores and they want their kid to go to college and they want them to get a good job and they want to become a doctor or become a teacher or become a lawyer or something like that and do better than working at a supermarket like they do. But the kid is looking at their parent like, the fuck? You do this and you take care of us just doing this, so why I gotta do that? Like, but the kid doesn't see it. And when you become an adult, that's when you see it. Oh, I get it. But it's like, and we joust and say that kids are dumb, but no, they're not dumb. They're just like adults who really can't see the forest beyond the trees. Like, you're looking at it like, okay, you're just looking at it from face value. Okay, you're doing this, but you're doing that, but so what? I want what's best for you. And maybe what I think is best for you, you don't think is best for you, but I can see so much more than what you see for yourself. And that's a parent's responsibility. That's not necessarily a single no dependent adult's responsibility for another single no dependent adult. But that's the responsibility for for somebody that's responsible for someone, or somebody that maybe subconsciously teaching someone, you know what I mean? So what I'm talking about, like, because I went long-winded, but I started with the Epstein Files, and it did really tie into my point. But to circle back to it, the Epstein Files and not condemning someone before we actually know, and not being biased just because it's somebody that you're close with or something like that, but holding them accountable, but also having the same principles that I'm going to hold. So anybody in the Epstein Files, I'm going to have the same energy for everybody. I don't care if I like Jay-Z or not. I want to know that, okay, what did Jay-Z do? And everybody is automatically guilty by being on this list. But there's, like a lot of people have said, you have to look at the context of why the person is on this list. So if the person is on this list because they were on the manifest on the plane, if this dude tells you, hey, I'm the richest man in the world, I got my own island, want to come and see? It's like Fantasy Island, you can have whatever you want. When you say whatever you want and there's no exceptions with whatever you want, then you know it could be some freaky motherfuckers that's coming up there. But you know that you could get an ice cream pool or some shit. Like, oh, I want an ice cream pool. Done. Hey, come fill this pool with ice cream and let him know when it's ready for him to come and eat it or swim in it or whatever he wants to do. You know what I mean? Shit like that. That's what I'm thinking. I'm not thinking, and I know that's it's probably not what it is. But I'm not thinking, it's this fucked up place, and they got kids and there's pedophiles and there's all this other shit. I'm not thinking that. I know that that's a possibility, but that's not the first thing that I'm thinking. I'm just thinking that the dude that's telling me to do this is among with the elite people and people that I know they know how to party and have a good time, so I know it's gonna be the best food, best entertainment, the best whatever, imported from different countries or whatever. I think it's the same reason. I want to be closer to you so that they can hear you, because you don't talk about. I want it to appear that I'm one of them. I can be a part of the elite group. So that's really what it is, and I think that, Jay-Z or Pusha T or whoever was on that list, they benefit from being a part of that group more so than just trying to go and hang out with them and partake in their festivities and shit like that. I don't think that that's what it is. But shit, y'all tell me shit in the comments, like what y'all think about that shit. Like that's how I feel. Like I think like it's more or less like that.
So, and you mentioned duty. I'm gonna respond to different things you said. You were talking for a while. You mentioned duty, and I think duty is limited to the parent, and if you're in a romantic relationship, then the woman and the man have a duty to each other. But everybody else, and regardless of what you, well, I don't know. Like there are certain things that if they do, like I said, if you're in an abusive relationship or something, then you don't you should stay in that or something like that or whatever. We're recording. So in an abusive relationship, you know, so, or things like that, then you don't have to. But like I said, parents they have a duty, and like in a romantic relationship, the mom and the man and the woman have a duty. And but outside of that, if somebody is like, and it ain't also just like, oh, I don't care, just giving up. It's making attempts to try to have like people. Some people like to argue or are used to that toxic stuff, or they be like, oh, that's how they are. So you wanna, if you can't even have a conversation with someone, like when you said, try to change their mindset to, because you evolve to a certain point so you can have and you know you can't have a conversation because that's how they are. Nobody want to sit and go back and forth with somebody every time when you're trying to when something is going on. So if I mean some people want to do that, but you're not getting anywhere, you're not solving anything because all it becomes is a screaming match. And if that's what you want to do with no positive outcome from it, that's all you're doing is going back and forth, and you got the energy to do it, or people got the energy, they could do what they want. But for me, if I try, I know it, or if I, like you said, do you know how people are? Because some people just say, oh, that's how they are, that's them, that's that, or whatever. So if you accept that, you can accept it, I accept it too. But I don't have to deal with it. It doesn't mean that I didn't try, but I'm also, like we said about peace, I'm not going to sit and go back and forth with people and it is not going nowhere if you're not listening, or you just want to be defensive or whatever, be argumentative. And some people are toxic. They don't know how to have a normal conversation if it's something that they don't agree with, or if they if they disagree with you, they can't have a conversation. All they do is defend themselves the whole time, not trying to see it from your perspective or whatever. So if you're never going to do that, then there's no point. But other people could try if that's what they want to do. But duty is outside of that. If it's your kid or your lover, then you know, regardless, unless it's like a death defying situation, then you're supposed to be there. But anybody else, you give what you put into that. If you're mistreating me or whatever the case, or if you're just a toxic person, some people are, like you said, like I said, can't have a conversation, you don't have to deal with that. And people could feel like, oh, you're just, like they make the other person, because they choose peace over that relationship, like they crazy. But the toxic one is the one that needs the help. So why do you have to subject yourself to that? And you're wrong. That's why people get called the black sheep. They be like, oh, I'm the black sheep of the family. They go meet their family, they be fighting each other and wilding out and doing shit or whatever. And this other person is the only one that know how to act like they got some sense, and nobody deal with them because they think like, oh, like what you mentioned, like, oh, that's not how you used to do. People make it seem like when you're acting like you got some sense, like you bougie, or you forgot where you came from, or whatever, because you ain't popping off, or you don't deal with certain types of behaviors. It's like you're the problem. Like that's just a toxic mindset, and people need to get out of that. But as far as the Epstein Files idea, we don't know what's true or not. But like I said, this is mostly about kids, the Epstein Island or whatever. So they didn't put themselves in that situation, so there's no justification for that because they're not in charge of themselves. They're somebody, an adult is responsible for them. So if you want to say then the parent put them in that situation, then you could put it on them or whatever. But if somebody else is responsible for you and you can't take care of yourself, then you can't use that as a cop out. But yeah, we don't know But regardless, like you said, even if they did put themselves in that situation, that still doesn't mean that the person that did what these people are being accused of don't deserve some type of repercussion for what they did. If I tell you I want you to unalive me, and you did it, you still need to go to jail because something obviously wrong with that person that told you to do that. So that don't take away that what they did was wrong, even if they wanted you to do it. So I don't know, but that's it. I'll land with that.
Okay. Yeah, I think only thing like I agree with everything you said except for the last thing. If somebody asks you to take their life, yeah, because there is a law with taking somebody's life. But if somebody asks you to do it, um, you should be able. I mean, but you should be smart enough to get it in writing. But you should be able to let them know, hey, this was their wish. They were suffering, and they wanted me to give them a mercy unaliving or something of that nature. But they don't have any laws that protect you on that. So shoulda, coulda, woulda. It is what it is. But yeah, I mean, from a principle, well, not a principle, really morally standpoint, I don't think a person should be wrong for that. But it is what it is. The laws of the land prevail in that case. But I would say for this, I just see a lot of people outside of the courtroom passing judgment, but not really knowing really nothing. Like you know what I mean? Like just going off of just TikToks and people just talking about their feelings and stuff like that. Like to be honest, whenever you think about stuff like this, like nobody considers anything else. They just consider this blanket thing. Like this is what happened, especially when you hear about children. You know, it's tugging at your heartstrings, so you're automatically inclined to this is it. It's the baby, so it doesn't matter. Somebody's got to be wrong. You have to know who did what and exactly what who did what was, and if they had any knowledge of what was going on when this happened. Because, like I said, I stand on this. If somebody was there, and this is just objective, if somebody was there and dealing with this guy, but here's the thing about it. He been doing whatever he was doing since the 90s. First conviction was in the early 2010s or something like that. So when he was convicted at that point in time, people already knew, like, damn, I shouldn't be fucking with him. But people still was fucking with him after that. But all the people that's on the shit, probably on the shit before that, maybe they didn't know that he was doing what he was doing. They could have, like I said, they could have been on the island, and I used this hypothetical. Hey, I want the pool to be filled with ice cream, and then hey, get the guys to do it. Don't tell them to come on until you guys are done, and make it quick. You know what I mean? Whatever. And they fill a pool with ice cream. He can do whatever he wants, swim in it, fuck in it, eat it. You know what I mean? And it's some fantasy island type of shit. So then with that comes the pervs. Somebody's telling you that they're gonna give you anything that you've ever wanted. There's gonna be people that are gonna want unspeakable shit. You know what I mean? So you can't help to be in the same area as those people, because unfortunately those people are the people that's the richest people in the fucking world. So when you a rich motherfucker and somebody that's richer say some shit, you not thinking that you're a monster, but now you're learning the more powerful you are, the more fucking evil they must be. You know what I mean? That's what it seems like. It seems like there's no power without selling something that of your humanity. You know what I mean? Like nobody really is powerful and innocent. Everybody that's got some power, every person on this planet has done something that they could be like, damn, I shouldn't have did that. Or fuck, I did do this. Like, you know what I mean? And then they just forgave themselves. Like, it is what it is. Like, I did what I did. I'm human. Like, da 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 da. But it was never really like they really got that real scrutiny. Everybody pointing their finger, that real judgment, and really was punished or whatever, or got some type of shit from that really bad thing that they probably did. They just had to eat that and deal with it and take it wherever, to the grave. Maybe they had a conversation with somebody about it, but it is what it is. It's in the wind. But these motherfuckers are dealing with it head on for something that happened. Skeletons in the closet. How many people have skeletons in their closet till this day, and they're not being punished for it? But the reason that we holding them accountable is the same reason that we should give them a little bit more grace, because they're human just like us. They're, you know what I mean, whatever. But because they're on a higher level of status, we're gonna hold them even more accountable. Like, what the fuck? Like, it doesn't make them a perfect person because they worked a little bit harder than you did in a certain area of their life. They still have their flaws, but they just honed in and have singular focus in a particular area. That doesn't make them better or worse than you. That might make them more rich, you know, money wise or some shit like that. They might have a different lifestyle, but mentally, or, you know, they put their shoes on, they put their pants on one leg at a time, just like you do. So to say that these people didn't fuck up, now again, I'm not negating shit. So I don't want to hear, so they could just do this. Like, I'm not saying none of that shit. All I'm saying is, yeah, they probably fucked up, but wait until all the evidence comes out before you just go off of what everybody feels about everybody. Like, fuck all that shit. Because nobody perfect. Everybody done did some fuck. Everybody done fuck somebody over in their life. So people need to cut that shit out. But when it comes to kids, yeah, I feel the same. When it comes to kids, I feel the same fucking way. Like, you know what I mean? Don't do nothing to the kids and shit. You know what I mean? But I want to find out who did it, because if you just put somebody in prison, then somebody is free. Get the main fucking honcho of the shit. The person that has something to do with the shit. Get the person that orchestrated the shit, which is what they did. Now, these motherfuckers that did what they did, how the fuck this dude do that and become the president? Why y'all protected him to let him become the president? Y'all knew he was up there. Because somebody else was up there that was on the island. Or somebody else was up there that shouldn't have been around. But they don't want to talk about all those other people because they not evil people, as you would say. They just people that did something that they shouldn't have done. They shouldn't have been around this nigga. You know what I mean? So shit. You got fucking memes out here with like Johnny Bravo, fucking Pepe Le Pew, the skunk, fucking the dude, the old man from Family Guy, Mr. Herbert, who else they got? They got all these motherfuckers, and they Quagmire from Family Guy, and they talking about, oh, none of these people came up in the Epstein Files. And I'm like, damn, that's true. That's true. These motherfuckers is no motherfuckers. Why wouldn't they be up there? Because it's status driven. Even if they were real people, they wouldn't have been high enough on the totem pole, you know what I mean, status wise, to be on that list. You would have to be, you know, a rich, elite individual to even be accepted. And I think the biggest thing about it is people don't outgrow wanting to be accepted. And that's the thing. Like, when you get to that stage in life and you making all this money and you doing all these moves and making all these business deals, why do you still gotta be accepted by everybody? Like, you made it. Like, fuck them. Like, you in your lane right now, bro. You know what I mean? And I land my plane there.
Yeah, I'm surprised that Pusha T is on the list because what you said, I didn't see him in that group. But we'll see how it unfolds.
Yeah, it's interesting. Did you well, I kind of listened to JCole album a little bit with you the other day. Did you listen to it?
I just listened to like the first 4 songs, I think. Before we started, I was listening to it, and it's
How many tracks did you listen to?
like the first 4. There's like 32. It's a double album, so there's like 32 songs.
I thought it was 24. Is more than that? I thought it was 12.
They said it was 32.
Oh, okay.
Well, maybe there was something that was added because I had to skip a couple songs. It wasn't playing in the order that I was supposed to, so maybe there was random stuff added in between.
Maybe intros.
On YouTube. No, it was on YouTube, so there was like.
Oh, okay, got you.
I had to skip because they would play other music that wasn't that, but it was lined up. But some song in between, it would be a different random artist or a playlist of something. So I had to skip it.
Oh,
But
okay.
I only listened to the first four. I'll tell you.
What'd you think about him?
It was well. J Cole is a good rapper. I like his music, and the first four songs that I listened to, they was good. It was giving like old school vibes.
Mm-hmm.
And I liked it. I want to hear the rest of it, but I don't understand why he couldn't do that track for Kim because you out here making double albums and stuff.
Here you go. Here you go.
You know it's Dipset on it.
Here you go.
Yeah.
Damn. Man. Well, all right. Outside of that, because that's biased. So I hope that this doesn't.
It don't, cause I just
Okay.
said what I said.
So my question is this: does he have the right to be on this? I'm the best nigga out. I'm the king. I'm the top nigga. You know what I mean? I fell off a little bit, but I'm still here, nigga. You know what I mean? You know what you got to do to get rid of me type of talk. Is he still eligible for that? Like, could he still say that? Could he still talk that shit?
I don't know who's the best. There's too many people.
I mean, well, you kind of do, but you don't. But it's not many. It's few and far between. You got Future.
Future.
You got Future.
You just talking about the people that was involved.
I'm talking about I'm talking about the best. I'm talking about the best hip hop people.
No.
Okay.
Future is not in that category.
These are people that make songs that people fuck with,
Future
whether you like them or not. You don't think he is?
No.
Okay. All right.
The songs that I listen to.
But see, we're not talking about the songs that you listen to because you don't count them if you don't listen to hip hop like that.
I do listen to
Okay, all right.
I listen to all types of music.
Who are the people
that
you think are on that top?
I was just telling you the names of the songs that I listen to from JCole from the album. It's called The Fall Off, and I listened to the 29 intro, 2-6, Safety, and Run a Train.
Okay.
And I was on Poor Thing, but then I stopped there. That's number 5. So they was all. It was Safety was kind of crazy because he was like, Jake. What I like about him, he's a good storyteller. Like,
is he the best storyteller rapper out? That's what I'm trying to get at. I
answered the question. I said I don't know who's the best. There's too many people to like. Everybody's not the best. I can say who's not.
Like, there's only 3 niggas that people say Kendrick, Drake, or fucking J. Cole. I'm not gonna pussyfoot around it. Those are the 3 niggas that people say. Kanye just popped back out, so that might be a number 4 or 5. You know what I mean? Future, he still be relevant, but I haven't heard nothing from him in a little bit. And shit, the only other person I could think of hip hop wise at that, like, shit, that's it, man.
Like, what are you
Kanye,
talking about?
NBA Youngboy. I'm talking about relevant hip hop artists right now, but it's more than their popularity. It's their output. Like, they're putting out music that people are fucking with in a mass scale. Even if you're not a fan, there's a song that I can listen to from Mask On. Like, I can listen to a song from any artist and be like, yeah, that's a bop. I've heard several bops from certain artists. I've heard more bops from Future in this era than I've heard from the majority of them. So I would put Future in that at least top 10. But in the 4 for right now, the impact of an artist, of a hip hop artist, is still Kanye is still relevant. He's still relevant discussion because he's doing a lot of shit, but he's still making music. You still got an artist like NBA Youngboy. You still have an artist like fucking Kendrick Lamar. You still have an artist like Drake, and you still have an artist like J. Cole. J. Cole was gone for like a whole hiatus for a period because he deleted a diss track in a beat between who they would consider to be the Mount Rushmore of the artists of today. Because we seen the fucking those what you call it, the freshman battles for the last decades or so. Nothing was good. They had Little Dicky was in there one time, upstaged everybody. They had, what's your girl name? Not Lola Brooke. What's the other girl? they had her in one of them one time, and she like upstaged everybody in that little group. Yeah, you know, they don't really have a lot of people that's like really making music. That's like, oh yeah, these motherfuckers is doing it. That's coming up in any of these classes. So the only people that they really have is the people that we've been seeing over period and period of time, because every project that they come out with, it hits. It doesn't just hit popularity, it hits in the emotion. Because there's people that listen to it and be like, you can't sit here and I'm not a Kendrick or a Kendrick fan like that. But I can't sit here and be like, not like us. Every time that shit come on, I'm not gonna get up and start dancing. That's my shit right now. You know what I mean? He fucked Drake up. And Drake was giving you back to back shit. Even though I wasn't fucking with him, like I said I wasn't fucking with him, but everybody was fucking with Drake. Niggas in the hood was playing Drake. Cause Drake was getting with hood niggas and making collabs. Drake was all over the hood. He was everywhere. And that's crazy for an artist like that, because he was pop. Then you got Kendrick, who was a little more urban. So he was like fucking with it. Then JCole was like straightforward. The nigga was going to play basketball. Oh, niggas can relate to that because niggas either bang or ball or rap. So they fuck with a JCole nigga. Then JCole, he tried to come at them niggas or come at whatever, and then he slid out. He's like, damn, like what happened to rap? So that really was the thing. And then he comes out with this album, which I listened to the first disc. I was impressed because I also listened to the mixtape that he did with DJ Clue. So I thought,
that's what I'm saying. You put out a mixtape.
yeah,
And a double album.
yeah, and all you can think about is Cam.
No, I did. I said what I said about him before. I said that I like J. Cole. I'm not taking that away, but that's a separate, because based on, I would like to hear Jermaine's side of the story, because I only heard Cam's side, so I like to be fair. But based off of what Cam said, I do have an opinion. But I would like to hear if J. Cole can confirm or deny if this was like he did a song. He did 2 songs, and you used a Dipset track or whatever, and he told him like, just when I need you to get on the track, come on, let's do it or whatever. And he like, all right. He did it within 48 hours. The first one, it was an intro or whatever. He did it within 48 hours, and that was a few years ago or whatever. And then last year, or I think in 2024, or maybe no, it was last year, he did the Ready, I'm Ready. I think it was Ready,
Yeah.
Dipset or whatever, and Cam did a verse on that or whatever. And then he was like, every time he hit him up, like, okay, the album coming out, like, you gonna do, and he's like, I don't wanna be, he said, the album got pushed back or whatever, so then, or he said, I don't know, he just kept making excuses. I forgot exactly what he said. Then he was like, okay, fuck it, you don't gotta do, he ain't even doing music right now, really. He focusing on the podcast shit or whatever. You know, he got it is what it is. Shout out to Cam and Mix or whatever. So he was like, well, just come up on the show then or whatever. Like, do an interview. He's like, I don't want to do no interview right now. No, he said, I don't want to talk about, because it was when the Drake situation and everything was going on and the Kendrick, and he was like, I don't want to talk about that. He was like, all right, you don't have to talk about that. I won't even ask you about it, but just come do the interview. He like, I can't come up there and not talk about it, which I get what he's saying, but you sound stupid. You should have just said that from the beginning. Instead of waiting for him to respond and then say it, you should have said that from the beginning. I know that's the topic of discussion right now, but I don't want to talk about that. I don't want to come up there because I don't feel like talking about it. So wait till this blow over. And then the first thing was like, oh, the album got pushed back. I don't just want to do an interview if the album ain't coming out right now and just do an interview for nothing. So wait. So that's 2 excuses. And now it's February, and there was another he still ain't. But you put out a mixtape with JCole. I didn't listen to that. I gotta listen to that too. And a double album. Like, come on. Like, oh, and he said the chakras gotta be right. Like the moon and the stars need to align. Cam was being funny. I know he didn't say it like that, but he basically saying he an artist and he's sensitive about his shit, so he want to make sure it's right, which I get that. And Cam did this. He said, I believed what he probably really feel what he's saying, but it's just crazy because you know you ain't all this time go by and we still ain't do it. And I did that shit for you ASAP, so he feel away, but he actually handled it like an adult. Like sometimes like be surprised because they know him. Like he's evolving, like how we talked about. Because before he would have been mad. It wouldn't be no conversation or these extra chances or whatever. He would have probably got cussed out or whatever. He didn't really say that, but that's what he's alluding to. There would have been some type of issue. It wouldn't have been just I'm just gonna talk about it and let it go or keep asking you. But I would like to hear Jermaine's side of the story. And just go do the interview. Because if you did tell him that you're not being a man of your word, I don't like that. If you told him, you're going to have, like, do the interview. Like, because he said he passed the trap shit. Because he ain't even doing music right now. But, like, just do the interview. Now you got something to talk about. What's the excuse now?
Yeah, I feel the same way, yo. Cole, just do the interview, man. Do a track with him. You know what I mean? Cam not a bad rapper. Like
he obviously likes his music because remember he was on his shit first.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind hearing it, like for real shit. But on the album, shout out to the album. I hope the numbers do well, cause you know, like I said, I'm not really like a big Cole fan like that. I'm not a big Kendrick fan like that. I'm not a big Drake fan like that. But I listen. I be hearing things from time to time. I hear they music be coming on the old people radio station. so like nigga, like you know they popping. So shout out to them niggas for doing what they doing. I like where hip hop is. I didn't like the evolution for a little bit, but I was a little biased because I was a mixtape person. But I like where it's going now. It's a lot of good changes. So I'll keep it at that.
I do. You're right. There is some. I like that song by Future Master too. But that's why I'm asking you. What are you labeling them the best and what?
Well, the best is everything. The best is like not. The best is not because what.
If I don't
the best
like
is not what people think. No, but the best is what people think. Okay. So let's just say, on a criteria of rap, what we look at of longevity, same thing we look at with like basketball, same thing we look at with any competitive sport. Rap is a competitive sport. Let's not forget that. So we're looking at it from the category of who is the best rapper production-wise overall. Now, if we gonna say lyrically, everybody could say a whole bunch of people. Who we gonna say? We gonna say Fabulous. We gonna say Lloyd Banks. We gonna say whoever, right? Eminem, right? But there's other artists that are lyrical. Ludacris, T.I., fucking Joyner Lucas, fucking Kendrick Lamar, JCole. What the fuck? Like, you know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying.
So hold on. I'm not done. So, okay. There are several categories. So we're talking about lyrical. Because you have, this one's lyrical, but I like what they're saying. It doesn't matter that you like what they're saying. But they're lyrical, right? So yes, those are several lyrical. Now, we're not saying the most lyrical. We're saying the best rapper. But lyrics are included. So yeah, if you're among the elite lyricists and you have those other 4 categories as the artist, then you're going to be considered the best rapper. So yeah, lyricist. Okay, so we could say all those artists that we said they're all lyrical, but who out of those artists that are lyrical has the best performances? Well, that list gets a little bit narrow when we get down to that, don't we? Because we still got lyricists. These are all lyrical people, but who has the best performances? Now we getting into a whole nother realm of it. When you get in there, are you gonna sit there for 3 hours and listen to a Lloyd Banks concert? I'm gonna tell you, well, I'm gonna say for me, I'm gonna say no. Because he doesn't give the energy that a person could get that's supposed to give you for that long of a show. Fabulous either. I love Fabulous songs because I know him. I can sing along. But then but then when he start going for a long time, he start to get like he start to do less movement, less getting the crowd involved, less, you know what I mean? Like that whole part of the performance is important. What the show looks like, what's going on with the DJ booth, what's going on with the lighting. Like that's all stuff that we see as the crowd. So that's the crowd reaction to it. But you also see how much work and effort that person puts into their craft. That's all art. So they able to do that, and you know the type of music that they making. So we go into versatility. Who is the most versatile? You name telling stories. How many rappers do we have that are lyrical that are really good at telling stories? So then that narrows that list down even more because there's only so many that are lyrical. The best lyricists, best lyrics, have the best performances, and have the most versatility. So now that list gets narrowed down. So now who are we looking at? We're looking at Kendrick, JCole, and Drake. Because who else has those combination of characteristics that we actually can say? Performances, the proof is in the pudding. You're gonna get more fans because people are gonna be talking about that shit. Oh my god, you gotta go. I've never been to a Travis Scott concert, and I'm mad I haven't. Cause as much as I heard about it, I've seen them online. I'm like, yo, this shit, millions of people be there. People be having seizures. Like, not that I want to go and have a seizure, but I'm just saying, like, it sounds like an exciting place. It sounds like going to a Michael Jackson concert or something like that. Like, it's a wild thing. You know what I mean? Like, people want that excitement, that thrill. So when you go to a concert, yeah, if you like the person's music, after a while you're gonna get bored. You're gonna want to go get drinks and stuff like that. There's only so many places where you go there and you just like, I'm not going nowhere. Like I wanna catch every single song. I don't want to miss anything. Like, you know what I mean? When I see the Locks, I get that feeling because I know the Locks is not gonna be there for 3 hours. The Locks is gonna do maybe an hour. You know what I mean? And they're gonna do the hits. So everybody gonna be lit. They're gonna be smoking the J with the crowd. They're gonna be, you know what I mean? They're gonna be lit. They're gonna be lit for that period of time. But if we had to do that for hours, people gonna be fucking passing out, sleeping and shit. Come on. Cause the crowd that's coming here for that is a little bit older, number one. You know what I mean? But the kids now, they like NBA Youngboy because NBA Youngboy got a lot of energy. He be jumping around and shit like that. You know what I mean? They love that shit. And I'm gonna be honest, like a lot of our lyrical motherfuckers that we have, they not doing that. J. Cole, Kendrick Lamar, his performance is crazy. He put on everything when he do his shit because he got a big budget. So those motherfuckers, I mean, yeah, it's like that, but they've always been really, really artistic. You know what I mean? So I've always seen that. And the people who they idolize, it shows in their music, their art form.
So, Travis Scott, even if I like his music, I don't want to go to his concert. It's crazy. People getting trampled and stuff, swish on people. Like, and then he telling people jump off the balcony and dumbass people doing the shit. People, like, it's like, no, I don't want to go. If you're doing that's dangerous. Like, all them people that lost their life. Rest in peace to those people. But, I like NBA Youngboy too. I didn't really listen to none of his newer stuff, but he's very consistent. He's constantly putting out music. But I do like some of his older stuff, like when he first started coming out. like slime mentality, self control, um, house arrest teams. Like cause I mean I be listening to what he said, not that he's like that lyrical, but like it's interesting. Like it's just him, or it is something more relatable. Like I like street music, like gangster music or whatever. So he be talking about his life or what he would do or whatever. This like or one that song I think it's called In Control because he got a song called Self Control and In Control and one I don't know which one is which, but one he talk about he said I stay he talk about like how he be high like so I could deal with you like basically like and it's drugs. Not saying that don't do drugs or whatever. I'm only talking about weed. I don't know what these other people be doing, but it's relatable whether it's good or bad or whatever because it's like you be stressed out and then you be like you might have to take a couple puffs just to get through the day sometimes, and it is what it is. Should you be able to self-regulate without that? Absolutely. But we talking about what is not what you should be. So like I like you be young because some of his music is related, but then you know if you come from or you know you've been around people that live a certain lifestyle or something like it's like even though I didn't do certain things myself, I can relate to that. I know people that did, so it's like it's gangster music or whatever. I like that. I like King Von or whatever. Rest in peace. Like because what you talking about, like street shit. I do like Fabulous too. Fabulous, but yeah, he is. And Lloyd Banks, yeah, he is. But he's so monotone and just boring when he even J Cole. I say like I feel like he's lyrical, but it's like it's kind of boring listening to it. Like it'll be a good song, but it's like you. It depends what mood you in if you want when you want to listen to him because unless it's a particular song where he's more. But
What about
like,
what about beat selection?
That makes a difference.
Mm-hmm.
But then it still be what you're saying because sometimes like I said they could be spitting and they might have bars and all that, but the song is not. It's it's like boring because you just like I don't believe what you're saying. You just talking like you just rapping. Like I might, but like I said, J Cole is a good storyteller. Like he can tell you, but it's like you gotta be in a certain mood to listen to something. Like Joe Budden made an album called or a mixtape called Mood Music with a K and a Z and music I K I think.
Mm-hmm.
But like I think that's the thing. Like if I wouldn't, if I'm trying to party or turn up, I'll probably listen to NBA YoungBoy because yeah, like you said, he got that energy or whatever. Even King Von, he be aggressive when he like I like that.
Let me give you an example. There, what's his name?
Ludacris is animated and all that.
What's the nigga name? Bobby Shmurda. You know the first song that Bobby Shmurda came out with. You know that beat, right? When he throw the hat in the air or whatever. That was Lloyd Banks' beat. Lloyd Banks passed that beat up, and Bobby Shmurda took it. I heard a version that a rap that Banks did on that beat after it had blew up from Bobby Shmurda because he had let Bobby Shmurda get it.
About a week ago.
What do you think? Without even hearing the other one, what do you think would be more would be more of a like, yeah, people gonna fuck with it? The Lloyd Banks one or the Smurda one? Even still going.
Even when Lloyd Banks make like a song, he just talks so nonchalant. Like that song, you like. After I heard that, you can't hear it on the way because I'm wondering now what did he actually say because Bobby Shmurda wasn't saying nothing crazy, but it was like a turn up record, like dancing and all that. Lloyd Banks don't dance. Like he made a song called "I'm So Fly," and
that shit was lit.
It was good, but he's still too dry. Like I feel like I like his music, but I'm saying in terms of energy wise, I feel like if another person did that song because of what it's like that's you in the club, like in the video, he in the club, like it's supposed to be like a, you know what I'm saying? Like I feel like the energy that he gives didn't match with that. That's not the type. That's not his niche. That's not where he, with his how he talk and his cadence and stuff. That's not for him. He can't. He's not versatile when it comes to rapping. He's just in one. Can't really make probably. I mean, he has some hits or some commercial records, but they weren't the energy wise. Like it was still a good song, but it's just a different type of energy as opposed to like yeah, like you trying to turn up, you want to dance, you lit. If you like you said, I'm sitting there and listen because I was listening to Lloyd Banks shit the other day because because he put out something recently too, and I listened to a few songs, and like I said, I like. It's not that I didn't like him, but it's like okay, I can't listen to too much of this like straight through because it's like it's boring me. Like I want to go to sleep because you not giving me enough energy. Like in this moment that I'm in right now, I gotta be. It gotta be another time. We need to finish the rest of it because you just but it's not that I don't like it. But I don't know. You need to change, yeah. But every artist is not versatile. Every artist is not gonna give you that energy. People is different, but that does make a difference.
The song that Lloyd Banks made was called Jackpot. You want to hear it?
You can.
Let's play it on snippet. We ain't playing no games, we ain't spend money, nigga. Do what you do best and rock best. That 2012 shit. 2012. Jello beats. I'm just fucking these hoes like you crushing these shows. $100 shoestrings, $9 for these souls. In my eyes and clouds, I'm puffing them O's. I don't want to play too much because I don't want us to, you know. But I'm gonna send it to you in the thing.
Yeah, I like Lloyd Banks, but there are different artists. There's some artists that you get put in category. And when I think best rapper, I think first if you can't rap, like I don't know.
When you think rap, you think lyrics first.
Yeah, because to me, how I think about it, I don't care how many records you sold or if people like you or whatever. Like if you can't rap, if your shit is trash or whatever, then you not.
That's what it should go by. It should be like that. But it's so many other criteria. Like what makes you think you would rap? Because rap wasn't as complicated as it is now when it first started. So if you want to go back to the original, like it was one bar. I mean one word rhyme cadences, like you know AABB, versus motherfuckers having syllable rhyming words that's like you know 4 or 5 syllable rhyme schemes. Like people that's like really ill like that, like it's ill, but like can you actually make music that people like also when you're doing that? Because that right there is just like, all right, you good at it, that's showing off. Talent never beat hard work. And that's like really what it is. Like, yeah, these niggas could write, these niggas could say some clever shit, but can you make some shit that I want to hear? Like, I don't give a fuck. Because if I could do this shit, like, that's a thing. And that's another thing, too. I like listening to rappers that are lyrical, but I like listening to rappers with imagination. Like I don't really care about saying all this shit about being rich and all that other shit. That's the reason that I fucked with Eminem in the first place, pause. Because I always thought that he was saying shit that was like, it's a place. It's a place for motherfuckers to really say like, I don't have to stay on this paper. I could say some shit that's like some wild shit, and it should be accepted in this art form, because I'm painting a picture. You know what I mean? Like Slick Rick, like I love Slick Rick, like because he was able to tell stories, and it wasn't the most crazy lyrical style to it, but he was telling a whole story and shit, and the shit was clever. it was thorough. Like it was smooth. It you know what I mean? And then he said it in a certain way, the cadence. Because it was more to it than just the words. Because anybody could say words. Like I could write for anybody. And if people say it the way that I want them to say it, they'll be rich. But they gotta say it that way. They gonna read it the way that they want to read it and make it sound the way that they want it to sound. So you gotta be a really skilled writer to be able to put the comma in this place and space it out like this and say that you just gotta be dragged out like this and break the word out a little bit. Yeah, like that's the whole part of being a really good artist.
The first thing that I look at, that's not the only thing. But then because I said I like Lloyd Bear, the artist that you mentioned, but some of them, their energy is too, like they don't. It's not. It's a what you saying is good, but it's not. I'm not gonna play that shit all the time, like because it's boring or whatever. So you need to have that too. Like it needs to be a good song as well as you need to be lyrical.
Gotta have rhythm.
Yeah.
You gotta have a good rhythm or cadence. The melody is everything. Even when it's beatless, you know what I mean? When it's beatless, you still gotta hear like somebody, it sound like somebody beating on the table in the lunchroom. What I'm saying is, cause it's really like you feeling the emotion of what I'm saying. Like if I'm saying like, I don't know, your chain ain't bright enough, I shine like a prism. Not a cage, but the bars is hard like prison. Beat a nigga till I'm getting carpal tunnel syndrome. Invoke something you can feel is what I'm giving them. You know what I mean? You gotta have the emotion in whatever you saying for the people to really get that in the rap. And I'm not using myself as an example because I'm not who the fuck am I, but that's what I mean by saying that. If I get that because of my experience with listening to music that I love, and there was music that I listened to where they did that. You know, that's something that Jay would have done, or something that Biggie would have done, or something that Rakim would have done. You know what I mean? Like, you know, if somebody did something that was really great, you wanna make something yourself. And sometimes it's like they're so great that there's no lane that they haven't crossed. So you got to recreate the will, but you got to recreate the best will ever because you got to do them justice. You can't just get out here and just like, just rap because you got bars because everybody in New York low-key can rap. Like it's a lot of motherfuckers out there that don't get Graph, Papoose, fucking My Sean, fucking how many niggas in New York got bars that really you don't be hearing niggas talking about them like that, but they around. Like these niggas rap. Saigon, right? Ain't he from New York? Like, all these niggas can rap, but they don't get enough attention. Why? Because they can't make good music. That's it. That's it. And what makes you a really great rapper? It's more than just those bars. And sometimes you gotta be able to make you gotta be able to make music that could be in a fucking movie. Fuck it. Mm-hmm. If your song could be in a movie, then you good. Common got songs that could be in movies. You know what I mean? Ice Cube got songs that could be in movies. You know what I mean? Like, there's artists that got songs that fit in movies. Yeah. And that's how you could tell, like, this shit fits the emotion of what's going on in this fucking scene.
That's why I say you gotta be versatile because you gotta be able to not curse if it were to make a song that's like, if it's in a movie. I mean, they could bleep out the words, but if it's so X-rated that every other word, they gotta cut it out because you cussing or saying something inappropriate, then you need to try to make some music also that doesn't have that.
That's why I said it gotta be more than popularity because some people like shit just because of of one or two of the five things, and not they just love them because they popular, and that would be like number 4. After versatility, number 4 would be popularity.
And then that's stupid too because do you not have your own people?
You have your own following when you come out a lot of times.
No, I'm saying you said people like someone because of popularity. I feel like that's stupid because it's like, and when you're talking about music, like you don't know what you like. If you going based off the status quo and what society says is good, then that's like you should have your own.
Cause it's like, cause you probably would pick the first three, but then you gotta be like, but then like this track is lit, but it's only because you hear that track so much, cause everybody be begging for it. Everybody be begging for it.
They do
but do people be begging for the songs that you want to hear? Like it's songs that you might want to listen to that I'd be like, oh my god, I don't want to hear this song. But it's just songs you want to hear it. But after I hear that song, I might be like, oh, this song is straight. You know what I mean? I might not be as obsessed with the song as you are, to the point I'm gonna stop listening to the song that I like from that playlist.
That's what I'm saying. Everybody's different, but the problem is, that's what I'm saying. You shouldn't like a song because other people like it. That's not.
But why doesn't it intrigue you that so many people like this? Like, if why does everybody like it? It must be good. Let me try it.
That doesn't mean it's good to me. That's a matter.
It don't mean that it is, but would it incline you to try it though? That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, you can listen to it, but
that's what I'm saying. That's why popularity is important, because it's intriguing to more people.
Pretending to like it, because some people will just.
Well, no, not that. I'm not talking. Yeah, I'm not talking about no faking it shit. I'm talking about you might actually, because it's popular for a reason, right? It's not just popular because you don't like it, but you could see why people would like it. And then that's why the song is popular. Like, it's popular for those other reasons. Like, it fits something else in those 5 categories that makes it a good enough song to be in the conversation, but not to be goated. You know what I mean?
Goated.
But I would say, I don't know, Kanye still be doing these crazy fucking shows. His shows be spectacular. I'm not gonna hold you. Motherfucker got drones and shit flying in front of his face while he fucking performing in front of thousands of people and shit. Like, this guy's crazy. Shout out to Ye, man. I hope he get his shit together, man. Ye 2029. No. Let's talk about Trump. Let's stay in this political shit. Trump post Michelle Obama and Barack Obama as monkeys. What do we think about that?
Yeah, so an old picture.
How did that happen?
An old picture resurfaced. He didn't just put that. Some people went and dug it up and then he put it online.
Oh, okay.
But either way.
No. We gotta stay there. We gotta stay there though. We gotta stay there before we move it.
You should have never posted it. They wouldn't have.
But I'll give you that.
He was an adult when
it doesn't matter. What matters to me is that it's like when people find dirt, and they find dirt for whatever reason. It was a lot of mudslinging going on at a certain period of time. Now, was that in poor taste? Absolutely, it was in poor taste. I feel like the thing to say about it, and really to be like, okay, did he delete it, or was it deleted? He should have never posted. Shoulda, coulda, woulda, whatever. He did it because he was being immature. He was getting banned from different social media platforms. He was saying a whole bunch of crazy shit. Nothing was weird. Nothing was different. Now you dig in his bag, and you find something that he did before. Oh, whoop-de fucking do. The motherfucker, everybody got skeleton. This motherfucker put his skeleton, his closet is open. Fuck what you talking about? So a lot of people, you know what I mean? Like, they just be digging and fishing for Trump shit. Like, cut this shit the fuck out. Like, that shit, like, I think it's dumb that they making a big deal about something that's old. Because now he the president. Oh, look at this. From 2016 or some shit. Like, what the fuck? Like, come on, man. Reaching, my nigga. Like that's just reaching for me, really. It really is reaching. And niggas need to, like, that's when I say people need to grow up. Cause yeah, he need to fucking grow up. But y'all elected him, so what the fuck? Y'all all need to fucking grow up. How about that?
I do just think to be the president, in my mind, I think you should have a certain character, and not to say that people don't grow from situations, but I feel like he hasn't. He's still the same person that posted that picture, even though it was a few years ago. Um, and because other behaviors that he's done more recently have shown that, or whatever, and things that he said that we all heard or him do or whatever. So I think it's just a certain, and regardless of who it is, a certain character that I think that the president should have, and certain things that you should not, even if that's how you feel and you think they're monkeys, if that's what you think or whatever, why do you need to post that? Like, you're not, you know, this is not in if you're posting stuff like that, even though that wasn't when or I believe that was when in his last term or something. I don't know, but
just for that, you're Ben from Mar-a-Lago.
but I just think you, like I said, you should meet certain criteria when it comes to, like, you should have integrity. You should have, respect for people. Even if you feel certain people be racist, there be people that's racist, but they don't tell you that they racist. They don't be posting shit like that and saying nigga to people.
They don't be the president.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Nah, they do. Most of the presidents were racist.
Well,
but that's another conversation, right?
That's what I'm saying. I think what are we like? We're not worried about that. Like, policy does matter. What you're trying to improve, or what you're fighting for,
right,
for the betterment of the country. But also your morals and your beliefs and stuff should matter too when it comes into like that's a prestigious position. So anybody shouldn't just be able to get that. Like, and your actions should dictate if you're the right person to.
I remember you said the other day, you said they should lower the age.
Yeah, because just because you're a certain age.
How young do you think it should be?
Well, I didn't know. I took that back because I didn't know it was as low as it was. Yeah, I thought.
But what age would you want it to be if it would be a lower age?
That's fine. I don't think it should be lower than that.
Huh?
I don't think it should be lower.
You don't think it should be lower?
I thought it was like 40 something.
Oh.
45.
I thought about that too. I thought about why, because it was at one point it was like 40 something, and I thought about why would it be that high? Because you don't want the person to be on their way out.
Right.
But I guess they want to allow them to have certain experiences because.
And look at what Biden. Look at him.
Well, you don't want him to be too old. You want to have a limit of entry and a limit of, not being the president, but you want them to see. The reason that they elected Biden is because Biden was a vice president. Biden was he was a senator. He was in law. He was running a state. You know what I mean? So Biden was doing a whole bunch of other shit for years, under different administrations before he became a vice president. And then from being a vice president, he became president after fucking Obama administration shit.
And then he's weird too, sniffing children and stuff. I don't know. They all got
that was weird. There's not, that was weird. There's no, I understand,
wrong with you?
But that's what I'm saying. That's when they should have been like, he getting kind of old. He doing weird stuff. Like, we don't know why he's doing some of the stuff that he's doing, but we can honestly see that there's a decline in his mental ability for the position that he has. There's a lot of pressure in that position. So that's even more reason why I think in age, like when I was growing up, the reason that, and this is my personal reason, the reason that I wanted it to be a lower age because shit, I didn't want to have to wait so long to be president. They said I could be the president one day, So I didn't want to have to wait until I'm 30. I might not live. You know what I mean? The way that the world is, in my mind, there's a lot of harsh realities that I exposed myself to. So because of that, I didn't know if I was going to be here that long. And I was, I did. But I also thought about what would be the right thing to do. Like if you're in that position, there's certain the one thing that I always thought about was the sacrifice that you have to make as the president. You can't um you can't negotiate with terrorists, right? And you have to think of the millions of people that rely on you as opposed to your family. So it's got to be them first before you, and that's a hard thing to have to think about. To think about other people are going to be more important than the people that you're responsible for first and foremost as a man. So it's like it's a hard pill to swallow, and that's the oath that you take when you take that position, and you have to be unbiased to those situations. Like if somebody kidnaps your daughter, and they're like, we gotta send you there, whatever. The people that work for you are going to, allow you to sacrifice your daughter so that you can live. They're gonna try their hardest to try to get her in another way, but they're not gonna sacrifice you for her. And that's the crazy thing. Like it's kind of like how it is like in the Bible, how it's like God, husband, mother, then children, right? Like children are last. The father is like the first person to get served. Before the children, the mother's supposed to serve the father. And, so on and so forth. That's how it's supposed to be. So the children automatically take a more of a liking to the mom, but there's a chain of command. Like you deal with her, I deal with her. You know what I mean? And I'll deal with God. That's who I answer to. You know what I mean? And that's the patriarchy. But it's really more of a crazy situation when you look at society as a whole, because it always comes down to that, where it's like if we wanted our society to be a certain way, then we would have already put our mind or our families in a situation where we would consider that like, okay, this is what we have to do for our family. We don't. We have no leverage. We haven't made those moves as a society, as a whole. There's been like little organizations, so I'm not going to take away that. There's like smaller organizations that have tried to build things little by little in their small group. And I guess the generations that come up through that small group, they're okay. They go out, they start families, they do things, they move down south and stuff like that. But to really like build shit and be like, yo, we're gonna cover this mall. This mall is gonna be all the black people's mall area, all retail owned by all black businesses and stuff like that. And we're not trying to take over and build no Ozark or some shit like that. But we're making our own type of shit. We're getting our own footing, for our generations to come. We're building our own legacy, like. But it's not none of that. Everybody just like they do this and they don't have no values to sustain their kids. Their kids grow up, do what the fuck they want, and leave and fucking do whatever. Like, don't even give a fuck about the family. And that's what I'm talking about. Back to that duty shit that I was talking about. Like, there's no sense of duty. And that's really where these broken ideologies come from. Because I be with you when you be talking about fucking politics, because it's like really like, yeah, we as people don't really stand for what really matters. So we don't push some of our people that are like aldermen or some shit like that we probably think, yo, like this dude should be the governor. Push this motherfucker to become the governor. Then he get elected as the governor. Then he try to change shit. But then when that nigga get there, what'd he do? He start smashing mad chicks. He start doing all types of wild shit, embezzling money. Yeah, embezzlement, all types of shit. So it's like we're not instilling values from the foreground before we can even get to those positions, and that's the problem. Nobody noble is groomed to be a leader. Because houses keep getting broken up. I would say this. I know it's rough, but if dudes didn't cheat, I think shit would be better. If chicks didn't cheat, I think shit would be better. But it's so hard because temptation is everywhere because people not trying to help each other out. Now, if a dude want to have two chicks and those two chicks only want to be with their relationship, you know what I mean, with their three people, then that's cool because they got their own, you know what I mean, they got their own thing going on. But like where everybody is messing with everybody's family, they fucking this shit up. Cause motherfuckers don't want to stay with somebody that's lying to them. It's not even. I think like the cheating is like we make it so bad because it's called cheating. Like you fucking somebody else. Like that's really what it is. People make it so bad, but like, why do they want to fuck somebody else? Like people don't never think about that shit. They just don't care. Like, do you know why they want to fuck somebody else? Because you're not turning them on no more. Because you're not doing this no more. Because all you do is complain. This person don't complain. You know what I mean? There's all these fucking things that they probably don't say, and that's why they doing it. But do it really make them a terrible person? Nah, because they had a weak moment. But they should be honest with you and give you the choice of staying with them or leaving. I agree with that. I believe in that. I think it need to be transparency. I think people need to be telling people what they want. If you get with somebody that you're not sexually attracted to, that's your fucking fault. Now you with this person that you don't want to look at, and now you have a problem with it. Or you get with this person, or you found out that they had a kid, and now you're like, oh, well, you got a kid. Nigga, that's your fucking fault. You decided to be with them and they had a fucking kid, buddy. You know what I mean? If you get with somebody and they can't have a kid and you want a kid, and you know that, that's your fucking fault, nigga. Like, what the fuck? Like, why did you want to be with them and you knew that that was something that you really cared about? Because people be afraid to lose people and shit. Don't be afraid to be honest about this shit because I feel like my reasons for me feeling the way that I feel, like, all right, like, so for the longest, being in a relationship with a chick that got kids was not something that I wanted to do because I wasn't in a relationship with a chick that had kids. You feel me? I was fucking with a chick that had a kid, but I wasn't in a relationship. I was in a situationship. But in a real relationship, I didn't want to. I wanted my first to be mine, like type shit. You know what I mean? And that was like my mindset growing up. As a young man, it's so many different things that you're thinking about. Like when I grow up, like I'm thinking about, you know, my kid doing a lot of things that I like to do or whatever. And my mind was not really cultivated to really think about what I'm gonna have to provide for my child. Do I have anything that I can give my child? Is there anything that I can show them? Anything I could teach them? Anything that, you know what I mean? And I have examples of friends that have kids and stuff like that. But what do they have that they can be like, yo, this is what I've done, son, and this is what I can show you, and this is what I can give you, and etc. Something like that. That's what I would like. I would like to give to my kid. Like, you feel me? So I would think about that. And then I would want the person that I'm with to also be like, yeah, that's what I want you to give our child as well. So a lot of times when you're dealing with people, you gotta have those conversations. So you could just dismiss somebody for whatever reason. Now this is just my personal opinion of it. And it may not, everything doesn't work for everybody, but maybe you would have a different, an open mind about the situation, I would say, instead of just going just to black and white. You know what I mean? So I guess in a situation, nobody could make anybody see anything from their point of view because they're not in their shoes. But if you're dealing with somebody and you accept this person for all their flaws, and you're just like, you know what, you're not worse than I am. Shit, like, you know what I mean? Like, people fucked us over, and and then you can understand how certain situations are, and then you just learn more about the person. The person makes you feel comfortable. You know what I mean? If a person makes me feel comfortable, then fuck all that other shit. Like, I'm interested in you because you make me feel comfortable. Because a lot of people don't. Like, a lot of people just talk, and then I just get aggravated and I don't want to hear what the fuck they talking about. But at least I can sit here and I can listen to you, and you know what I mean. You're saying something that somewhat resonates. Some shit probably not, and then I can tell you that it doesn't, and you might accept that or you might not. But I know that you're able to accept me being truthful with you and being honest with you because that's where I want to be. I want to be honest. And because that person is honest, I can look over certain things. Now, if a girl hides her kid from you for 2 months or some shit like that, you know what I mean? Like, nah, that's a red flag, my nigga. Like, you should never deal with shit like that. Why is she hiding that shit from you? But if she lets you know up front what it is, then you make that decision. Decide if you're gonna deal with it or not. You know what I mean? It's different for everybody, I would say. But if I have a son, I would definitely tell my son to be with the girl that's pure, that hasn't had any partners, that may be a virgin, don't know shit about the world just like you don't know shit about the world. Y'all gonna experience that shit together. I'd like to meet their parents. That's what I would tell my son. I don't give a fuck how anybody feels about it, but that's how I feel about it because I feel like that's the safest way to go about the situation. Um, I would encourage them to get to know the girl, let the girl know all the fucking weird shit he likes to do, and see if she still likes him after he told her that shit. Let her know that you like Fortnite or whatever is gonna be out when I have a kid, and you like Roblox and all this other shit, and see if she thinks you're a nerd or a geek, and if she thinks it's cute or she thinks it's fucking weird and she doesn't want to talk to you anymore, because that's gonna be your experience that okay, what you're doing isn't necessarily bad, but maybe it's not something that a lot of girls might want to share, or maybe you want to find a girl that shares these things that you like. You know what I mean? Whatever. But it doesn't have to be the end. It doesn't mean that you have to treat every girl like crap because that happened. We met their parents and we found out that her parents are probably gonna talk to him like, you stop talking to him because he likes Roblox. Like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? They might try to talk some sense into her or some shit. I'm so sorry. I didn't understand. I'm stupid. Because she is. I mean, and they are. Like, you know what I mean? It's innocent. But then it's like, it's so innocent that you don't like that innocence. You want the boys that curse. You want the boys that, they play sports and shit. You know what I mean? You want the boys that hang out with the other boys. Right? You don't want the boy that just likes you and likes to make you laugh and laugh at what you do and looks at you like you're the most important thing in the world. You don't want that, but you do want that. But you want that with all the rough parts. And a man can be both. It's just really hard if you don't capture their interest. Because we become that once you capture our interest. Once you capture our interest, we become the guy that's like, fucked up over you. But I think because of how women are, women have to be with a guy that they're really obsessed with. They can't be with a guy that they just like him because he does nice things. They have to be with a guy that they're really obsessed with that doesn't really give them any time of the day. It seems like it's fucked up. but that guy will appreciate you at the end. Like, what was that? Pretty in Pink. Like you'll be like Molly Greenwald or whatever her name is, Molly Ringwald or whatever. You'll be like her, like you get noticed by the popular kid. You want to be noticed by the popular kid, and he only notices you because somebody made fun of you or something like that, and now you're his object of desire. But it's a pity type of way, and he'll learn to like you, but you're head over heels for him. You're always gonna feel that same way about him every single time that you're with him, no matter what, because you have your prince. But he doesn't have his queen. He don't got what he want. So that's like it seems like it's settling, but it's really like with that individual, it's more like he saw more than what he was looking at. Like there was beauty, there was something special, but he had to look past all the other shit. But all I'm saying is like even with that, the woman would still have to do the work. They got dialed up. They did what they had to do. Cinderella got hooked up and shit, and then Prince Charming noticed her. Like even though that's the Disney shit, it still got a little bit of truth to it because I like to say that Disney shit is fake. But the truth to it is, yeah, Cinderella got noticed when she cleaned herself up. You gotta compete. You know? Shit. But these families, man, it's chaotic, man. Yo, I wonder what's going on with the Super. Did they have the halftime show? Yeah, they had to have the halftime show
Yeah,
already.
Coco Jones sung.
Was Bad Buddy there?
They said, yeah, he performed. They said X went down briefly while he was performing.
What?
Twitter.
It crashed.
Mm-hmm.
People were sharing it.
I guess.
It was yeah. Wow. I want to see. I want to see if they got it. Let's see. Oh, Bad Buddy. Excuse me. Let's see. Somebody got a. I say pull those people out. Is that is that fucked up to say? Ice didn't pull anybody out of the shit when he was performing.
Oh, she honored Whitney Houston because she wore the same.
Who's that?
Coco Jones.
Coco Jones. Who's Coco Jones? What song she sing?
She said, "How come when I see your name on that last screen?" The Overnight Celebrity. She sang on that beat. Remember that song? You heard it before we were talking about it. But originally it's someone else. The Twist, the song Overnight Celebrity. Who made that? Whose song was that? It was that beat.
I don't remember.
We was talking about this before, but that's what she's a singer. She's an actress too. She played Hillary on the new on Bel Air, and she started on the Disney Channel. But I didn't.
He came out with the American flag. And only thing more powerful than hate is love. Um, it wasn't really nothing crazy. I don't know. I don't know. They was saying it was gonna be like some wild chaotic shit during his shit, but it wasn't nothing like that. It was regular. Sorry, people. No drama. No drama at the halftime show.
Yeah, it shouldn't have been. I don't know why people.
You know, people want drama.
That's the problem.
Just how people are, man. It is. That is a problem. It's not good. people are petty like this lady. She shoveled a space for her car during the blizzard.
And somebody parked in it.
Somebody parked at her spot. So she packed this lady car in her spot with all the snow. And she was like, hey, she knocks on the door. How she go to the right house? That shit was crazy.
She was like, did you see anybody near my car? She was like, yeah, I seen them. Then they was cussing each other out because the lady was, and she hid the shovel too, so the lady had a broom. But it was packed in like as if it snowed on the car. Like she was having a hard time getting out. There was other people helping her too, and they were screaming back and forth at each other while she was like, "That's what you get, because you shouldn't have never parked there. I didn't shovel that out for you or whatever." And then the girl was screaming stuff back at her too.
How do you feel about that?
I think first of all, did you see that snow? You know the snow. You were shoveling. If I took the time to shovel out a parking space for myself, I would be mad if somebody parked in it. But I'm not about to then shovel some more because you gotta do the same shit that you just did and put this on top of that. I'm not about to waste my time and do that. You doing too much. Like,
yeah, she was petty.
I would just found somewhere else to park. And people be trying to do that, try to put a cone and hold it or something. You don't own the sidewalk.
Yeah, but all that effort, like, it's kind of fucked up. And actually, shit, if it's in front of my house, but if you got a backyard and all that other shit, because some people do have their own parking in their area. Like, you gotta have a zone thing or some shit, or you could be told. So you could come out and be like, yo, you're not in the zone, you gotta move, that's my parking space. But she said somebody, her parking lot is covered up. She was like, yeah, but now I had to park all the way down the street because you took my parking space that I shoveled out. So look, now I'm about to pack your shit in there. Then we gonna find out who the dumbass that took my spot that I spent all this time. Cause she obviously had no man too. Cause she had to shovel that shit. She was so mad.
There was people with her. There was people helping her.
No, I'm talking about the lady that shoveled her parking space.
The one that put the snow.
Yeah, she probably was mad as fuck because like that was a lot. And then I pushed a space out so I could park in there, and you gonna come in there and take that shit? I don't know, man. I don't know. Like when I look at the meter of petty things to do to get back, I think that's there. That's where I would be.
Yeah, I don't got time for that. Not doing
I do. I got time.
Take a look at my.
Cause it's gonna take me. It's gonna take me time. It's gonna take me time to dig my car back out or some shit. Feel me? So now I gotta do you dirty.
You don't have to. You already out, so you could just.
I'm out. I'm out, but I want to make life.
And you gonna be mad.
I want to make life difficult.
Down the street, but
I want to make life difficult for you.
I don't know what that. Bitch retarded.
I ain't difficult for you, yo. I don't give a fuck, son. That shit thorough though. That shit's thorough. I gotta give it to her, yo. Some thorough shit.
And then y'all screaming back and forth.
Yeah, that shit funny, yo. Women got time to do shit like that. Like niggas don't got no time, but I make. You
said you would do it.
Because I'm gonna fucking make time, motherfucker. I got time today.
Take a look at my watch. I got time today.
Right.
Fucking, I'm crossing the line today.
Shit.
She crazy. We gotta do better. And guess who it was? What? Guess what race it is? That's what they do on the Breakfast Club. I'm sorry, and it'd be a shame. I don't like saying this or that this happens, but it's like
but you can't make that a negative on black people for that shit.
I don't think I feel like
I'm
not saying that other races don't do shit, but we have specific things that each race with like the petty meter, right? I feel like another race wouldn't do that. This is like significant to our race of people. This is something that
we don't take no shit.
People.
Is that bad or good?
No, I'm saying all races do something. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying this is more identified. This particular type of petty, like anybody could be petty. I'm not saying that other races do it too, but the way that it was executed is something that a black person would do.
Right. Petty Volume 8. United Healthcare caught paying off nursing homes to let seniors die because hospital transfers were too expensive.
Yeah, they wasn't
United
because they own everything. Like when 50, it comes to that
50 plus million Americans controlled hospital clinics data, $22 billion profit last year. It isn't a small company. It is the system. That's what it says for context. United Health doesn't just pay for care, it also owns medical groups, manages nursing homes, decides approvals, controls patient data. When the company controls care plus payment, cost becomes the priority.
Just like CVS, Aetna, somebody was talking about Aetna Health and CVS, like they're all, so it's like they provide your care, then they got the pharmacy, then, so it's like all a network of things that's all going to like, they decide what, they provide the medication, they provide the facilities, this is what you're covered by, like it's all a network, all the money is going back into these groups, like, so, it's.
So, this is what was reported in what you sent me. So recently, United Health was caught paying nursing homes bonuses to avoid hospital transfers. Why? Hospital transfers are expensive. Keeping patients put is cheaper. When money comes into play, the narrative shifts. The person gets sick, but instead of asking what's the best medically, the question becomes, can this be handled without triggering a hospital bill? Elderly patients need hospitals for infections, heart failure, respiratory emergencies. Delaying care isn't neutral. It can be fatal. So who pays the price? Not shareholders, not executives.
The patient.
Seniors, families, people who trusted their insurance. This is what happens when the system bargains with life. This is how modern systems work. No profit over people. No risk pushed downward. No responsibility outsourced. And United Healthcare just proved this. Someone named Kakoa Macaulay put the uncomfortable truth. Corporations don't exist to protect you. They exist to maximize returns. The bad news, you can't out-lobby billion-dollar insurers. The good news, you can reduce dependence on them. People with leverage aren't immune. They're just less trapped, owning multiple income streams. It gives you options, flexibility, time, exit paths. All right, and now he's marketing some shit, but yeah, this is interesting data. Shout out to Kikoa Mac on Instagram. But yeah, and you're familiar with United. Like, I mean, shit. I think insurance, like I've always said this, like it's $1 billion industry, multi-billion-dollar industry. So you talking about like when you're doing when you're trading the stock market, you're playing the stock market, as they say, and you're using certain things. They tell you that, yeah, insurance brokers are the biggest money. That's the bag. That's the biggest bag. You know what I mean? You really want to get in that, and you gotta find whichever is the biggest global medical market. Insurance, medical equipment, medical companies. That's where you get that bag. Fiduciary companies, banks. That's where you get that bag. That's the money place. And insurance is literally it's kind of like the opposite, I guess you would say, of the stock market because it's like pretty much doing the same thing. It's an investment. So stock market, you're invested in several different options. In the insurance, the consumer is investing in that insurance with their life sometimes. You know what I mean? And you can take a loan off against your life fund. Let's say you got $150,000, you know, uh, death bonus or something like that, and it's matured or whatever the steps are that you got to take. I'm a little rusty with it, but you're able to cash in on that amount and take that money out on a loan against it if you need it, and then put that money back in there, depending on how long you've had that account open, how much money you put into it. Because if you put a certain amount of money into it, it still gives you money on the back end, so you're able to take out a pretty good amount of that cash. And I think it has to be like a certain amount of years that you have to have, have the account before you can get that amount. But some of those accounts, they allow you to get 70% of your death benefit. And when we talking about these death benefits, some of these death benefits be like $1 million or some shit. So they let you take 70% of $1 million. Imagine what you can do with that. That's good bread.
Yeah.
But how do you feel about what United is doing?
I think insurance companies are getting medical, um, car insurance, because sometimes you never use it if you've never been in an accident and you're just paying all this money every. Well, some car insurance companies, they advertise that if you didn't use it, they give you some money back. I think that's what they should do. Like all of them should do that. If you, cause what the fuck am I paying? And then if something happened, I've been paying this money every month, and then if something happened, I gotta pay you more money for you to fix what the hell going on, cause I gotta pay a deductible. Yep. That's not included in my monthly payment. The monthly payment ain't going towards that. That's just to I'm just paying you for the service or whatever. So it's like, I don't know. Some people don't pay their car off and never been in no accident and never used their insurance, but they be paying it, but you required to have it to drive or whatever. So it's like, I don't know. It's everything is a lot of things are scams. It's like it's a business. That's what I mean. It can be helpful, and I think even the medical field in general, because we are. Well, I believe that from stuff that I research and with other people that have taught us, like Dr. Sebi and other natural herbalists, or um, you know, the body can heal itself. You don't need to go. I think the doctors are necessary to diagnose you because you may need to go get tests to figure out something wrong. But then from there, then you can heal yourself. There are things that you can eat. You might need to exercise or whatever that can cleanse your body allegedly. That can, there are people that said that they had HIV and then they took something in a natural thing and then it rid their body of it, and then they're telling us that there's no cure. And I mean, it wouldn't hurt you to try. I don't have this, so I wouldn't, But I be telling people like somebody told me, and I don't know. They said they had asthma, and then they was on a regimen, a natural thing, and they don't have asthma no more. That's what they told me. And I don't know. I never seen them wheeze or nothing, so I don't know. I can't really validate it or whatever, and I don't ever remember them having asthma before or whatever. So I don't know, but I'm not gonna. It's probably possible. Like you don't. What I'm saying about it is you don't got nothing to lose by going the holistic route, because the worst that could happen is that it don't work, and then you have the medical modern medicine to fall back on if it don't. But there's so many negative side effects with the stuff modern medicine that is like it contributes to hundreds of deaths every year or whatever. So it's like if there's a possible way to avoid that and cure yourself, I don't think you have nothing to lose. Because I feel like most of the time it's a waste of money. You pay for all this stuff and then you still end up dying. You get cancer and it comes back. You've been taking off. You've been um, you go into remission and then come back and then there's nothing you can do or whatever. So then sometimes they don't even you go to the doctors 20 times just for them to diagnose you. They don't even know what's wrong. But like I said, I do think it's necessary because you gotta know you got something before whatever you decide how to proceed, how to get better or whatever. You need to know that you have it or whatever. You can't diagnose yourself or whatever. So you need an expert in regards to that. But like you spend all this money and you still end up getting sick, you still end up dying. You paid all this money for treatment and it doesn't work, or that's all they can give you is treatment for a lot of things. They tell you there's no cure. They just keep giving you this medication that they're giving you got side effects, and now you got to take another pill to offset to treat the side effects that you get. Now you got diarrhea, anal bleeding, or like, I don't know. I'm exaggerating, maybe not anal bleeding, but people do be getting diarrhea, constipation. Your blood gets thin, or your blood is too thick, so now you gotta take blood thinners. Like all this stuff, like some stuff make your blood pressure go up. So now you gotta take something to lower your you get your blood pressure to a normal rate. So it's like it's just a money thing, and then there's the food they give. It's like I don't understand. I mean, I know it's for money, but it's like, what is the end goal when you get the amount of money? How much money are you looking for? Because I feel like, is it worth all these people losing their life? That's why people get sick. You're getting sick so you can pay you to treat us forever for the rest of our life and make us more sick. You're never gonna get better. If everybody was healthy, then they wouldn't make money. All these pharmaceutical companies and the hospitals and the health insurance, they wouldn't be successful because they need sick people to make their business continue. So I don't know. But people will say that's a conspiracy theory and you're crazy and blah 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 or whatever because they do whatever the doctor tells them. Doctors are humans too, people. Like, and some doctors or nurses have quit because they see the scheme that's going on and they can't consciously, they can't work at that job because it bothers them that they're not really helping or doing what they're supposed to do. Even the diet they take, they done changed the table of the uh, the chart of the foods that you're supposed to be eating. They done changed it. So how do we know that it was even? If you changing it now, then how do we know that what you told us before? Because you just saying anything. Now you're gonna change it to a whole different type. A lot of the stuff they advertise tell you it's supposed to be good for you, not even supposed to be eaten. So why are they telling you that? Then you going to the doctor and then you gonna believe that if they give you this pill or whatever, that it's gonna make a difference. They're telling you to drink milk and all this other shit that you're not supposed to be having. You drinking milk, you might as well smoke cigarettes because they're carcinogens. They contain carcinogens, which would cause cancer or whatever. So it's like, but they say, oh, it gives you vitamin D and all this like protein and meat. They done fucked that meat up so bad it don't even have the nutritional content. And it's same with the fruits and vegetables. Unless you go into like a farmer's market or you grow it yourself, or like, and now they fucking with people crop. It's like everything points to like, is you trying to kill us? Like I don't understand because yeah, we know you want the money, but at what cost? Like there's gonna be nobody left. Like people gonna have kids, I guess, but then people ain't doing that either. Or people unaliving their own kids. Some people. So it's like, or put them in the system and then somebody else do it or whatever. So like, I don't know. I just feel like in this day and age, somebody said all this stuff happened in a couple months. This the year God gonna come down.
Shit, mad shit happening. Shit, check this shit out. So school bus driver had over 2,500 files of explicit child content. All right. Now this just happened in January, like towards the end of the month. So this shit is wild.
What, like child porn?
Yeah. So the dude's name is Jeremy Wakely. He was 42. He was employed as a school bus driver for Brown's Bus Company under contract with Caldwell School District in Idaho. He was taken into custody after a search warrant was executed at his home on January 21st of this year. Authorities executed the search of his home, was suspected of child sexual exploitation material. Wakely was taken into custody that day by investigators working with Idaho Attorney General Internet Crimes Against Children, the ICAC unit, and local law enforcement partners. Court documents allege he downloaded, possessed, and traded thousands of files of sexual child abuse material, and he admitted to exchanging some images using a messaging app, despite knowing it was illegal. He has been charged with multiple counts of possession and distribution of child sexually explicit material and is held on bond following his arraignment. There is no indication and reports of any evidence of local victims at this time.
Like I said, he must be coming down this year. So stay prayed up, guys.
This is crazy, but like stuff like this is wild because it's like this dude. How the hell did he get hired, yo?
He didn't have a record, probably. If he had a record, I don't think it would be.
That's crazy.
That's the thing. People that be like this.
It had to be something that happened in his life, though, that they have documentation of it. Had to be.
No, this is the first time. He probably never got. They had to start somewhere. He probably never got caught. Sometimes these people will go. You know, they just live a normal life. They live fly below the radar.
He had thousands of these videos, so he's been doing this. He
probably was keeping to himself. He didn't do anything to the people, right? He just was down with. So he probably just a weirdo.
It said he had thousands of documents where he material where he was influencing kids too. Oh. So he probably was doing shit.
Yeah, he just never got caught. This is the
telling
first time.
Telling him to do shit, recording it.
A lot of people don't tell. That's the thing. People be like, oh, people. A lot of people don't be reporting.
He was talking to kids, exchanging images using the messaging app to kids.
Yeah, so they probably didn't know. They probably didn't tell nobody. If you're doing it to kids and nobody's seeing it, and you messaging them,
wicked, bro.
And, like. Because if he got in trouble for that before, he wouldn't have been a school bus driver, because you can't be around kids if you was doing that.
Right.
This is the first time. It must be the first time that he got caught. He probably been doing it, but unfortunately, he was being smart about it. And this is the first time that somebody noticed. So, to investigate. People are sick. And who knows what happened to them. And that usually be why people get like that. Because somebody was fucking with them, found out in them or whatever. Like, so, I don't know, he's 42. And that's why he a bus driver.
So, right.
He could find get his victims.
What do you know about the 19-year-old that was shot for the fries at Wingstop? What was that about?
Because he didn't share them with his friend.
That was it?
That's what it said, that he didn't share. That they said he shot him because He didn't share his French fry. I could look it up.
Interesting. This happened this year too?
Mm-hmm.
The fuck?
And the Wingstop fries is nasty too. Them shits be soggy all the time and shit. And you shot somebody over that.
I mean, they got a little bit more context to it, but it really doesn't make it any better. But
the teen, Jarvis Davis, was relaxing on a couch in a West Fort Worth apartment eating his Wingstop meal while his girlfriend lay in his lap. When a man in the room who had been enjoying wings but remained hungry asked to share Davis' French fries, Davis declined, not taking the resulting anger seriously. The verbal dispute quickly escalated, and the suspect, someone Davis considered a friend, fired a shot into his head before fleeing the scene. Authorities have identified the suspect and obtained an arrest warrant. Davis' mother, Sharika Kennedy, later expressed profound heartbreak, saying she wished her son had just given up the fight to prevent this senseless tragedy.
what?
Why you?
Who thinks that that's gonna happen? Like, who thinks that if I'm telling this nigga in my crib that no, you can't have none of my fries, nigga, that he gonna pop me? Like, are you serious? Are you seriously saying, oh, he should have just gave him the fries? Like, that's really a crazy message to send to any men today. That's like, yo, niggas are so damaged, my nigga, that if you tell them no, nigga, like, what else could you tell them no when they could just take it? Like, my nigga, no, you can't have my fries. Nigga, like I said, no. Yo, I'm really starving. Nigga, you just ate wings. You probably ain't paid for them. No, nigga. And he with you too? That's like really like a thing, like you don't know the people that's around you, like, or you got some snake ass niggas like the nigga in Belly. Like, you gonna get yours, motherfucker. Remember? You know what I'm talking about? When the nigga, they made that nigga strip. Strip, nigga, strip. Yeah, you can get yours, B. What, nigga, what? And then he tried to get him later on in the movie.
This is crazy, and over some nasty Wingstop French fries.
I'm saying, what they got better.
I mean, it don't even matter how they taste because it's just French fries. But that just the icing on the cake. Like, they don't even taste good. They never be. I don't know the ones I had, unless I mean, they somewhere else and they make them different, but it's still just French fry at the end of the day. Like,
who let that nigga in the house, my nigga? Like,
that's his friend.
The fuck? No, it's not.
He said,
if you shoot me because I said no, my nigga, what were they arguing about?
Arguing about the French fry. They
got
to an argument.
More. This argument was more than the fries. Nigga was hating. He shot you because you said no. It was more than the fries. Like,
no, when he said no, they kept going. That's basically what it's saying.
Because it escalated to something else. Like, they was talking about it. I could see it now with two niggas.
He was like,
my chick sitting on my lap. My chick sitting on my lap. We eating. Another nigga in there. He mad because he ain't got no chick and he eating by himself. You feel me? And niggas playing the game. I'm busting his ass in the game or some shit. And nigga like, yo, let me get some fries, nigga. Or whatever. And I'm like, no, nigga, you can't get no fries. Losing ass nigga. You know what I mean? And then the nigga be like, nigga, what, nigga? You over there, nigga, let me get like 2 fries, nigga. No, nigga, you can't have none, nigga. Beat me in the game first, nigga. Bitch ass nigga. You know what I mean? And then, you know, your girl in your lap, like, just give him a fry. Nah, that nigga can't have no fries, nigga. You get nothing, nigga. No rice, no rice, no wings, no champagne, nigga. Get the fuck out of here. You know what I mean? You get nothing, nigga. Then that nigga got mad. That nigga was like, what, nigga? Put his shit on the table and was like, nigga, give me a fry, nigga.
When he put it on the table, that's the part.
Yeah.
If it got to that, like,
give me a fry, nigga.
He was about to do it, like just give him.
What?
I'm saying.
What? In your spot?
If it got. He pulled a gun out. If he gave you another chance and said that isn't worth your life.
It says in a Fort Worth, Texas apartment.
Unless you go and that's.
If you in my house and you pull out a gun and be like, yo, give me a fry.
He didn't have one, so the only option.
I don't know. I can't.
So you
I
gonna
can't
get shot
tell.
too? I think that's.
I don't think I'm gonna get shot. I just
If
think.
he put.
I just think that. I just think that a nigga not gonna be around that's gonna try to pull that. He run this shit card in my spot. So I'm like, what the fuck?
Oh, because you have a gun. Or you John Wick.
Maybe I got a gun, or maybe I'm like, I know that this nigga not gonna shoot me. But if this nigga do try to shoot me,
thought he wasn't
I'ma move quick when the nigga try to pull the trigger and move out the way. And if I do survive, that's his ass.
So you going?
I'm gonna take that risk. Absolutely. I'm gonna risk my life. I'm gonna risk my life because he just risked our friendship. So he an enemy now at this point. I can't see him again.
I can't see him.
I can't see that nigga again. I don't. If I have another opportunity to see him, it's not gonna be a good situation because I could never respect him after that. After he pulled a gun on me.
So guys, listen. If you have children,
Why would you tell your child to associate themselves with somebody like that?
And that was my first thought.
Right.
They probably didn't know that was gonna end like that. But if you having an argument and then a nigga pull out a gun and he give you a last chance and be like, nigga, give me the fries, just give him the fries. Like, it's not worth your life. And then don't fuck with that nigga no more after that. Like,
I would agree with that.
Unless you got a gun, because it's Texas, it's self-defense. Right.
But
if you don't have nothing to defend yourself,
in your house like that,
yeah,
you gotta leave.
Maybe you didn't know.
You acting like this, you gotta bounce. You can't be here. Like you acting crazy. Or I have to leave from this situation. You know what? Fuck it. Take the fries. Right? You can take that move. Let's say you take that route. You take the fries. They took a lot more from you than those fries. If that's your house, that person needs to leave your house.
Yeah,
straight up like that.
That's what I said. Don't
take the fries and bounce. You know what I mean? Like whatever. Like there needs to be a consequence to that situation. And the fact that this nigga gonna pull that, he ain't know who you was. It was more to it to the situation than what we see and what we reading. But the only thing that I'm looking at is he was in a Fort Worth, Texas apartment with his girlfriend and friends. So I'm saying that's not no friend to me where we start arguing, you pull out a gun, and then you're going to blast me. And then mom was saying, I wish my son, because she want her son back. She want her son more than anything. But to say, you didn't have a strong son because he didn't give up his fucking fries, and that's why he got shot. Your son, we don't want to lose our sons. We don't want them to be martyrs. We're not telling them that. But we telling them to stand on what's right. You live in your house. You gotta be responsible for your family. Sometimes it's gonna come with dire consequences. But you want to be smart about it. Obviously, you don't want to just put your life on the line and risk everything for some fucking fries. But there's a principle at stake here. Why would that nigga be so inclined to shoot you over the fries? They are not that good. I don't give a fuck what commercial they come out with after this. Those fries are not so good you'll die for them. It's not. They're not good enough to die for. So, nigga, give them your fucking stink ass Wingstop fries and go get you another. And maybe you tell them why you had to get another thing of fries. Maybe they'll give them to you for free. They might be like, shit, you was gonna die for these shit? Here, take them.
It should be free anyway.
You know what I mean? Like, for real. But in any case, that was very desperate for a motherfucker to shoot you over fries. You can see how much he really needed them. But I'm just saying, what type of nigga is that in your life for a dude to really be associated, be called a quote-unquote friend, and they pull out a gun on you, you sitting with your girlfriend in your lap, and they trying to little bro you like, yo, like, give me your fries, nigga, and put the gun on the table. Like, I'm not saying you put a gun on the table, but how you get shot over fries? No, you can't have them. Alright, nigga, I can't. Was it like, no, you can't have my fries? What, nigga? Bop, bop, bop. Like that? Like, damn, they that good? Or was it like, I said, give me the fries? You know what I mean? Because if it was just instinctive, then it wasn't no time for him to just be like, man, you should have just, you know. Because maybe you didn't know that. Why would you feel so emboldened to tell him, no, you can't have my fries, broke ass nigga? Like, what did he say that made it so, what made it such a bad argument?
He was hungry.
Was it that made it such a bad argument? You really think that people
have killed for less, unalived?
You talking about men? So I'm trying to think. I'm trying to really think like with men, like the argument, because there's arguments that do get testy. There's 3 arguments. The desperation is like very, very last. If these are called friends. So one is like the woman problem. The secondary is jealousy. The third is like bullying. So out of those situations, of which would probably be the most common, which one? Because he had his girlfriend on his lap.
I'm only going off of what they said.
Right. I'm saying he had his girlfriend on his lap. He was at an apartment with friends in Fort Worth, Texas. Another man
and where was the friends? They were
had just finished his own meal, asked Davis for some of his fries. So he wanted to have what he had and take some of what he had. It led to an argument after he said that. So that dude shot him in the head. And I'm thinking after that, did you get a fry after you shot this nigga and walked off? Or did you just shoot this nigga and run off like shit? Fuck it.
And what was the friends doing when this happened? Because it said with other people there.
Maybe they was antagonizing. Because you know how people are, like when these are 19-year-olds, man. So they probably was talking shit to each other. They probably was like, whatever. It wasn't, we looking at it like this because we just trying to pretend like, okay, I wasn't a kid once. I know how kids are. They fucking argue with each other. They talk shit to each other. Look at online. Look what they do online to each other. Like, kids are fucked up. But I'm not ruling it out all the way because the only thing that I'm thinking of is mom saying she should have just gave him the fries. And I don't want to really paint that narrative as like an overall narrative. There's a lot of context that goes with the situation. Maybe that could have solved the situation. Oh, he just doesn't give him his fries, or he just gives him his fries and then everything stops. But I think even if he gave him the fries, I think the nigga still probably wanted to shoot the nigga because I think it wasn't over the fries. I think that the argument was way more than just some French fries if they're supposed to be friends. Friends don't shoot friends over fries. That's emotional, man. That's definitely emotional. And 2 boys? Like, what's going on? One boy has got his girl on his lap. You feel me? What is going on? What are we not reading when we see in that situation? Before we just tell, not saying that, Erica. See, that's what I'm saying.
Because you're making it.
When you're saying that, when you're saying a thing, when you're saying what you said about the mom, I'm saying what I'm saying, and you're saying like, yeah, I think he should have just gave him the fries.
No, not if it happened, because again, we don't know how it transpired, and neither does she because she wasn't there. I'm assuming she unless she knows whatever they told her. So if he just asked for it the first time and you don't want to give it, no, you don't have to, and he didn't do that. But then if he said it again, and like you said, pulled out the gun, then no, it's not worth it. Give him a fry and tell him to get out. But if it was just like you said no and he shot you, you didn't have a chance to switch it up because I don't have to give you my fries, and yeah, I don't.
Right? Would you encourage him telling him no? Don't give him your shit. That's your shit. You don't know that there's a gun.
If you don't think that he's gonna shoot you. If you don't want to give it, you don't have to.
Okay, all right.
And he already ate. If you're my friend and you didn't eat anything, then I would share if I could share.
Because that's friends.
With you or whatever.
That's friends.
But he said
why would a friend say no? You can't have any because you ate it on your film.
And they give you mad of them too.
But I'm saying, but that's not the point. Why would a friend say no? You can't have any of my food.
Yeah.
Would they be like, yo, you greedy as fuck? Like there's more to it than that, right? So like we could say all these different things, but then it's like, okay, why? And you just said it yourself. If my friend asked me for fries, I would just give them to him. I mean, I get a lot of fries anyway. So if this greedy ass nigga ate all his fries and wanted some more, and I was probably gonna throw the fries out or whatever.
He had wings, but
he had wings, or he had wings and fries because it said meal. He completed his meal. So he completed his meal, and now he wants what's left of mine. I'm with my girl. Maybe I'm sharing with my girl. I don't know. But if I say no,
If I say no, you should
Why would I
respect that
say
too.
no? And then if I say no, I'm entitled to say no unless you pay for all this shit.
Yeah, you should.
Because then there's
respect
another thing.
Because
The nigga that
people
paid
would
for
do
this
that,
shit.
just ask for some just because they
Yeah,
paid for it.
and sometimes it's shit like that. So what if this nigga, he paid for everybody food, and he was like, well, shit, I'm done with my shit. Like, let me get some of your fries. Like, you know what I mean? And nigga like, nah, you can't have
You
it.
like, no, this
Nigga,
mine.
I paid for this shit. Nigga, I want
Like,
some of your
so
fries.
it's mine.
So what, nigga? Can't be no Indian giver, nigga. So.
And people do be doing. I don't like that. Like you just asking.
But is it worth? Is it worth?
I'm saying if you
life?
didn't know, you could say. But if he pulled a gun out,
So now niggas pulling out guns. I'm gonna say this. I'm really gonna say this. If niggas is pulling out guns, they need to use them. Cause I feel like we setting a really terrible narrative right now. We letting people do stuff like this because I think that people should have firearms to protect themselves, not to bully people. So if you're gonna have a gun and you're gonna be pulling it out just so you can make people do what you want to do, we need to weed those motherfuckers out. Like they need to stand 10 toes on them shits, and if they don't do nothing, and we get an opportunity to get them back, we need to shoot them in the foot, shoot them in the kneecap, shoot a finger off, do something so they remember, like, yo, like, you fucking think it's a joke, nigga. Next time you better fucking kill me, because if you know, I'm gonna kill you. Cause you can't play these fucking cowboy games. Like it's crazy as fuck. It's crazy enough. People that you don't know you can't trust. Now the people that you know you can't trust. That's crazy.
Who you consider a friend?
Right. Why would they even put that in the article? Friends. That kid shot him over fries. That's not your friend. What argument makes me want to shoot you in the head after fries? What did you say? Because it was not just the fries. Unless, I mean, I'm looking.
He could have been unstable.
Yeah, I'm looking at the, yeah, it's possible. He has some unsavory individuals with him. I still don't think he deserved this. I mean, I feel like it's crazy. But.
Yeah, nobody deserves to get shot. And especially not over no fries.
I know they said food is good in Texas, but like, I don't know. I'm gonna go down there and try their Wingstop.
And see if it's worth it.
For real, it might be fire.
Shit, people was unaliving each other when they had them chicken sandwich.
This is a hell of an endorsement.
When they had them chicken sandwich from Popeye, remember?
Yeah.
But those wasn't friends.
People was fighting and everything. People was getting into it over them shit.
That had crack in it. They be having
people getting crazy. Getting killed over fast food is terrible. That's not a good look for us. But we got to do better. Come on, man. This year is getting crazy. This year is getting crazy, man. It's
not
February.
even the second week.
Right. What the hell? Yo, let's talk about Wack 100 and Max B. Max Beef.
Wavy baby.
Can you call it a beef? I don't want to call it a beef.
What's beef? Beef is with a nigga like you can't sleep.
I don't think that's a beef. I think that's just this nigga just old and he just really wanna be a troll and shit. That's what I think it is. I think Max B just got out of prison. He trying to find his way. And this nigga, why you messing with this nigga? Like, let this nigga do his thing. Like, you know what I mean? Get out of his way. He ain't even fuck with the nigga that really was his op. Like, he get out and you start fucking with him. Like, I don't know. I think it's kind of extra. But it's funny that he came back at him. He said this nigga got a crater face. He said this motherfucker look like fucking piece of face. He said he sucked his mama ding dong. I'm like, wow. He said his mother had a member.
Well, I think he only said it because I think initially he ignored. I'm sure he heard him talking before or the other time, but he probably sick of it. He probably was ignoring it, but he like, now, like, you keep going. And I'm trying to ignore you, but you won't shut up. Every week you keep saying something else. So
it goes back to like, what's the level of disrespect that you're gonna tolerate? Like, what, like, where does it go? You know, when does it get to a level where you like, yeah, now I gotta come at you, and then how do you come at them? Because when somebody if it's disrespectful, because calling somebody a rat is disrespectful if they don't consider themselves a rat or whatever, because you messing up their reputation. So calling somebody a rat is what it is. But if it's true, then how you gonna come at them without addressing it? Like, my only thing is like, if he not gonna address it, how you gonna just come at the dude if you ain't addressing it? Address it. Say, yo, like, nigga, I'm not no fucking rat, nigga. Like, if you could say you're not a rat, then just say it and just let this shit be done. Like, you know what I mean? But you just not gonna say nothing and then you just gonna come at him. That's like different.
He did address the situation. He said what happened.
I mean, dude still like, if you don't snitch and you still gotta do all that time, like, that's kind of crazy. Like, where were you? Like to stay in prison that whole time and still be alive and shit. And you snitch. Like, if you really did. Like, you know what I mean? I just be thinking about that. But and you supposed to be in there for mad time and you ended up getting out. So, but you know what? Shout out to Max B, man. Shout out free the wave, man. Happy that the wave is free, man.
Max Bickerville.
Bickerville, man.
I went deaf on him and French got a new album out. Go listen to it if you ever check it out, if that's your type of vibe. If you like, you know, if you like Max B and French Montana. Ever since you left me, more money, more clothes.
It's a few projects that's out, man. I love when the beginning of the year happens, because it'd be like a lot of stuff be dropping. Like Kanye West just dropped something. Um, who else? Who else? We talked about JCole. Nas, right?
Yeah, Lloyd Banks got some.
Lloyd Banks. Yo, it's a great year, man. Who won the Super Bowl, man? Y'all watching the Super Bowl right now? What's going on? Who won that shit? Let me look online and see who won.
The Seahawks.
The Seahawks. Who told you that? Somebody told you that?
No, I'm just guessing.
They winning. It's actually they did win. Then I was about to bet. I was about to win 200. Put 250 on the Patriots.
I just guessed because I knew that's who was playing, but I didn't.
The Seahawks won. Yeah, Seahawks got another one. It's their second. Super Bowl. The first one was with Sierra husband. All right. Well, shout out to the Seahawks. You know what I mean? Shout out to the Patriots for making it interesting.
All you people on your parlays and your other bets that you did, like, shout out to y'all and the ones that won. The CashApp is in the description. You could send us some money, you know.
Facts. We appreciate the support. If anybody wanna help us out, we appreciate you. Yo, oh yeah, shout out to the team, you know, Arts Entertainment. OD gonna be opening for Max B. So speaking of Free to Wave, in New England, it would have been nice if New England won the Super Bowl, because then he could have, you know, probably be a lit crowd out there. They'd be all happy because they won. Now they're gonna be angry. So it's always difficult to perform under those conditions, but I know it's gonna be lit. So shout out to that Arts Entertainment all day. But yeah, man. Shit, you got any other topics that you wanted to talk about? I did. I was looking at some of the female battles, because it was female battlers that was coming out recently, like I think Friday. and they was talking about how they feel about Remy in terms of her Chrome 23. That's the name of her battle thing that she had, whatever. And I guess that was something that she had started with Papoose or whatever. When she first had started it, like for the first year, I believe it was like a platform that had a lot of eyes, and it was heavily influenced by female MCs, right? Slowly she started to get dues, and she was trying to do like, this is alleged. This is all like alleged. Like we were talking, people was trying to do backdoor deals and get people from different battle rap platforms to have her on her cards, and trying to give them a crazy ass deal like, I'm gonna give you this, I know you're only gonna get this. And some of them was loyal to it and some of them folded, what I mean, because the money, some people got a price, what I mean, past their loyalty. um and Easy ended up going over there, what I mean, and he started recruiting, getting little people to come over there and challenge him over there on his little platform over there or whatever. So it was a lot of people that was like upset about that. And to the point she ended up getting off of you know that platform, and now it's like it's difficult for her to get back, and she like, fuck it. So some of the women were coming out, they were saying like, she didn't open up the lane for any of us, what I mean. It was really short lived. She really focused on the men, really, but I guess it was what it was for the time. It was a good opportunity for us, what I mean, to get a little bit more exposure, but it wasn't long enough for us to really get exposure. It was like maybe less than a year, if that. You feel me? So,
Shout out to all the battle rappers.
yeah,
I
for
seen
real.
a battle with Bonnie Godiva or Godiva, I don't know how to say her name.
Okay.
And against Enes. And
And how was that? Was it a good battle? Would you
I
say it was
didn't
good?
see the whole. Well, I just seen the clip actually, and it was only a piece of what he said, and mostly her. And she had the scene from making the band playing in the background, when him and Freddie was fighting while she was rapping, and she was talking about
Okay.
like that. Because Freddie was a little guy, but he was giving them. He like, it was a good fight. It wasn't just like, oh, you think he gonna knock him out because he bigger or whatever. Like, it
Uh-huh.
was like, and but she was spitting, but I didn't hear his whole. But Ines, Ines is a beast. I don't know who this lady is or whatever, but I've seen her before, so she's a battle rapper. Um, but I want to hear what he said, his whole part, because it was just like somebody posted on Instagram, and then somebody said the person who shared it said Ines unfollowed it.
Uh,
Because they was, I guess he was mad. And he posted that.
I mean, sometimes so, when they do the co-ed battles or the crossover battles or whatever, I don't know, I'll be partial to it. As long as if the woman is really talented, then it's interesting. But what they really gonna say? You know what I mean? They gonna talk about his penis. You know what I mean? What they gonna talk about? Like
Well,
it
I
just be
feel like
like,
that's why she had her making a man play in the background. She was talking about the fight, and she was like, you still, she called him fat or whatever. She was like, I was 10 when you was on making a band, and you still fat and something or whatever. Or, I don't know. She could rap. I don't remember what she said, but she wasn't a bad rapper.
okay.
But I want to hear what he said, and because I only, like I said, basically it was just like 2 lines of him, and then she started rapping in the clip, so I didn't get to see the whole thing.
Uh,
But yeah, I don't like men and women going against each other. I didn't even know they did that.
Yeah, yeah. It's 2026, man. Women can compete.
Anything you can do, I can do better. I can do anything better than you. No, you can't. Yes, I can. I don't want to battle against. Well, I don't know. I do it for fun, I guess. Because I do be saying, oh, that's battle. But I don't even know how to. Well, half the people, I don't know how to. Well, it will be written. I gotta write it.
Yeah, you can write it. You could do rebuttals. You could do.
Yeah, I could do that. But it's hard to. It's better to write anyway. Most of the time, if somebody actually did say something right then on top, unless it's just a piece and you add it to other stuff, it's not gonna be as good as if you wrote it down. But yeah, shout out to the battle rappers, URL and Chrome 23 and all of the battle rappers in that space. May you be successful in your own right and keep doing what you're doing. That's it.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, guys, so that's all we have for you today. We appreciate you so much. Thank you for tuning in. On our way to 5,000 subscribers, please share, share, share. Like and subscribe. Tell a friend to tell a friend.
On the way to 6,000.
On the way to 6,000, sorry. Yeah, so just push it out. Tell people about it. If you got topics that you would like us to discuss or you want to comment, we read the comments. If you want to, participate, we want to hear from you. We appreciate you, for tuning in. Sundays at 8 p.m. Get lifted. 30 is the new 20. I'm going to have fun.
I'm SmileyJizzle. We out.